Yo! Video games. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is gonna have to be a shorter stream, probably. Maybe a very short stream. Cause let's just get the announcement. Let's get the news that way. I will be off stream for some time after today. So yeah, this is gonna be my last stream for about a week. So I'm taking a little bit of time off, so yeah. Apologies for that. As far as this goes, I thought it was 23. I don't know what's gonna happen with my Digimon Time Stranger playthrough. But yeah, it was looking good. Now it's not looking good. But what can you do? What can one man do? Against such reckless hatred, or whatever the king says there. So I'm just right now I'm just going through my Switch, making sure everything's loaded onto the system. You know how that is. It's still technically the first week. Yeah, it won't be for long. Not for long. But yeah, I think, but at least, something we can do for funsies. We can at least play, we can at least check out Xenoblade. We can check out Xenoblade Future Redeemed in 30 frames and glorious 60. Now, unfortunately, we still kind of live in a world where people still think there's a toggle. I read it to this day. People still like, yeah, the toggle is in there. Why I'm still waiting for them to activate it. And yeah, the toggle of Xenoblade 3, or sorry, for Xenoblade X. They found the toggle. They found the mode. They found the mode that's just locked. That's locked away. They have to unlock the mode. I'm like, there is no 60 frames per second mode in Xenoblade X Definitive or any other Xenoblade. Fuck the subscription base. So yeah, all right. Looks like this is all good. So yeah, and I guess what's in other news, like I said, stars are probably aligning for I think the stars might be aligning this year for a Xenoblade for actually not Xenoblade. I actually shouldn't say that. A specific Monolithsoft announcement I think has a better than 50% chance at this point of happening. Oh, you can overclock switches. People have overclocked their Switch. People run Breath of the Wild at 60 frames on a Switch 1 by overclocking it, soft modding it. It's not hard to do. Like Nintendo and like I don't know if you know this, Nintendo actually for as potatoey as even this old system is and the Switch 2, Nintendo actually throttles both of them. They're both underclocked for power burnout reasons. It's been a couple years since a new game was announced by them. Yeah. I guess you saw much. I've known about that for months, Side Realist. It also doubles as a lamp warmer. Switch and 2 does burn. Yeah, I mean that's the thing is, yeah, it's just gonna burn through battery. It's gonna, it's gonna overheat the system potentially, and I just play shit docked anyways myself, so. No idea what this is. I think this is. New Game Plus, maybe? Could boil an egg with this overclocking, yeah. Doesn't care about power mode as someone that primarily plays docked. I mean, they even have the fans, but the thing is that the internal, they don't. I mean, the guts of a Switch. I can't pull it out. I mean, if I pull it out, you'll lose the signal. But like, let's pretend this is a Switch 2. They look the same, anyways. The guts of a Switch 2 are in here. Even with their dock that has a fan in it, that has an internal fan on the Switch 2 toaster, the guts are still inside here, right? And what does that necessarily like? What does that mean exactly? And that means that the board is still likely to get fried. The GPU, CPU, all the things heating up on the inside of this little pancake, even with a fan blowing on them, is still going to get really hot really fast. Hot and spicy. Yeah. So, I saw this a lot last night on the group stream. A lot of people still actually have no fucking idea how much juice is actually under the hood of a Switch 2. Like, they still really have no idea. I think one of the so that's a great. I mean, okay, so
which way next?
I mean, again, look at this. Look at this beautiful ass fucking Switch 1 game. Switch 1. Switch 1, no upgrades. Why can't Pokemon look this good, chat? You think use Switch 2 fully. What? Right, because the Switch 1 is and for all intents and purposes, a PS3 Pro. Like, you're not gonna run Doom Eternal or Witcher 3 on a PS3 no matter what you do to the fucking thing. But a Switch 1 does run it. Badly, but it runs it. Pokemon Zelda can look nice. I don't know. I've certainly never seen it. Switch one was not necessarily good hardware, but it was at launch. It was like a pretty decent. It was a good, not great mobile hardware when it came out. And again, you could play Witcher 3 and Doom Eternal on the fucking thing. And it was underclocked. I do think we're gonna get Zelda 40th anniversary stuff. It's just gonna be Wind Waker and Twilight Princess bundled, just like Mario Galaxy. Isn't Switch 2 between a PS4 Pro and an Xbox SS? I guess it is an S. Jesus. Yes, but anyways, yes, correct. I know, because people and I saw it last night in chat, and I don't know if it's because it's from Soft, but they're like, oh man, like, you know, this Duskbloods is gonna be such a fucking failure. It's not gonna be able to run Duskbloods at all. And I'm like, is this a diss at FromSoft because they can't program to save their lives, or people more likely are people still that ignorant about a Switch 2? Hold on, let me pull something up if I can find it. This looks like what I was looking at, but yeah. So this guy called Deck Wizard. He had like to me what I thought was a really eye-opening, comparison here. Where did I put it? Wow. Jesus Christ.
Bad idea.
Yeah, so this is from like I said, Deck Wizard on the tubes. A Dick Wizard, yes. So this is Star Wars Outlaws, the big open world Ubisoft game.
Bad idea. Put that away. Here we go next. Heads up.
Where I move my face. Let me reiterate this.
Bad idea. Put that away. Here we go next. Heads up. We are doing this the hard way. We need backup.
Like, But it's also the fact that we are talking about a Switch 2. We're talking about a Switch 2 here. We're talking about Star Wars Outlaws. Like, I don't even... This game didn't even get a PS4 version, did it? Like, right? Like, what the Switch 2 is doing on a little handheld with a game like Star Wars Outlaws is frankly pretty fucking impressive, honestly.
Operation is commencing. Units are on site with orders to eliminate any pirates.
I think it was a third party. I forget the name of the developer who did the Outlaws port. But it was like, it was within Ubi. But you know, Ubisoft owns like 20 studios or something like that. I don't think it was the main Outlaws devs. Because everyone knows Steam Deck is better than the Switch, but it's like everyone thinks the Switch 2 is just the Switch, and it's like, no, no, guys, like, yeah, Cyberpunk did get last gen versions, and here's the crazy thing, Star Wars Outlaws, which runs on the same engine as Pandora, or Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, completely different engine from Assassin's Creed. Like, despite the fact that they're both just big-ass open-world games. Yeah, I know Digital Foundry, I think, was not super thrilled with Ass Creed as much. Mostly because of the VRR stuff.
Assassin's Creed Shadows is one of the most graphically impressive games of the year. It employs advanced ray tracing, virtualized geometry, wind simulation, and a litany of other tech to create a stunning recreation of feudal Japan. But that top-end feature set requires relatively powerful console and PC hardware. So how can this outstanding visual experience scale all the way down to Switch 2?
It's really not bad at all. Like, and this is one where they had to fuck around with the ray tracing.
People at Green Man Gaming Bundles, featuring.
So, I mean,
before we delve into Switch 2, it's important to establish a visual baseline for how the Series S version looks, because that's going to inherit those Series S screen space reflections, for instance, as well as puddles.
So they had to basically, there was a lot more work had to be done on this one than Outlaws. But I mean, it still looks fine, honestly. And this is for a game that's not made for the system, period.
So perhaps the effect is unusually expensive in this game. The water surface also no longer reacts to player movement, which is obvious in this shot. Overall environmental density takes a hit. The general silhouette of the environment is preserved, but various little bushes and grasses and clothing.
But I mean, it's otherwise this is an Ubisoft game, and it's also a weird comparison. But yeah, like you're just going to see games, you know, running differently on the system going forward. Because again, I mean, just getting into it more, you know, getting back into the point is that modern architecture, which is what the Switch 2 is more based around, is much different than older style of how rendering techniques were used. So modern rendering techniques are going to make a world of difference. So yeah, but anyways, this is Future Redeemed. This is Future Redeemed on a Switch 2, which gives it no visual upgrades whatsoever. Just runs at the same frame rate, caps out at the same max resolution.
My knees felt that.
So I just wanted to show this for like a little quick comparison for what, you know, this old Switch 1 looks like. Before we switch over. What level am I? I don't know.
Yeah, it'll do for a warm up. They don't look all that far. Just got.
Illusory blade!
This was basically what I predicted.
Capybara. Look at this little guy. This little fur ball. I think the key card debate will become far less relevant the further we get into more and more casual people owning a Switch 2. I think you only hear about it now because, you know, as stated, the early adopters are generally the hardcore gamers, you know, and they hate their key cards, and I get it. Why are we buying a piece of plastic that has to go online, you know? But damn it, I turned it off. Didn't mean to do that. It's a matter of when, not if. They're gonna be doing Switch 2 physicals. God bless them. I mean, yeah, but it's limited run game, so. Ugh. How did I load this? They're not being reasonable. I only have 64 gigabyte cards. They don't make cards bigger than 64 gigs, and frankly, even if they did, you would really start to be like getting into like cartridges are really fucking expensive. The fuck? When is Pokemon Day, chat? What's up, Ghost Cross? Hey. February 26th. Okay. There's a Pokemon? Yes. It's been one for a while. My ears. They're so confused.
This is the place.
Alright, yeah, let's see. Let me show you what you're missing out on. Well, we're never gonna get. Did this thing seriously? I reckon. 20th, 25th, 30th, even 40th. Hell yeah, it's a big year. It's a big year for 40s this year because Zelda, Metroid. I think Sonic's gonna be 35 this year. Yeah, it seems likely that Gen 10 will get its the 10th generation of Pokemon will get its big debut Pokemon Day. What's up, Fat Alfred? Happy New Year. Our full year of reminded of. How old's Mega Man? Let's press any button. Shit isn't working. Mega Man is 40 and 27. I was like, is he 86 or 87? December 87. Shit, maybe that's what they're aiming for. Oh, chat. Oh my god, chat. Oh, this isn't fair.
Here we are.
What do you think, chat? It's a pretty nice looking game, right? Ah, nuts, I crashed it. Nuts. Anyways. I'll let you have the idea of running around here. Brooklyn Games, and I'm surprised they're with an arcade. Visuals running on potato. Well, I mean, Hoyoverse had like has like $100 million a year pumped into its visuals. Does F11 really kill this thing? There we go. Stream just glitched that. Yeah, well, it's the thing turning on. Oh no, they're all dead. Crods. It's not fair.
Sure, whatever. Let's get this out of the way.
More of a starter than a main, yeah?
That wasn't even a warm-up.
I'm sorry, chat. You're all missing out on it.
Let's bash them good.
They don't look all that tough.
More of a starter than a main, yeah?
I know I can count on you all. Let's bash them good.
Sure, whatever. Let's get this out of the way.
First strike to me. More of a starter than a main, yeah?
Quick and painless, thankfully.
Let's bash them good. We have the advantage here. Mighty strike. I'm feeling full of beef.
Starter than a main, yeah?
Topped up the training, I guess.
We're gonna switch. I wish. Dang, look at the texture work and shit.
Let's bash them good.
This fight is not well.
Heavy one. Stop there. I'll be your opponent. I'm feeling full of beef. I could have done that one-handed.
Sorry, chat.
Who else?
Who else? I like how even in-game idle animation, their eyes still don't stay like hyper fixated in one spot. They don't have dead eyes. Like, I don't know if people appreciate how like crazy tech that is. Like if you look at Matthew's eyes here, or anyone's eyes, they slightly dart. You know? Which really helps avoid like the dead doll stare, the big.
Let me blaze us a trail.
Okay.
Just do as I say, okay?
And I feel like I can actually appreciate the weird shader they did for like hair shader for this game.
I can guide us.
I tried to give like this sort of like painterly like
All right,
brush stroke look to the hair.
Front and center.
Like hell of a detail for like something no one will really see in game. Da, 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 da. Shit. Nice quiet stroll through Xenoblade, feature redeemed at 60.
Let's crash some good.
This fight is not worth it.
That's a big no.
Topped up the training, I guess.
So, Chad, when do you think we're going to see Monolithsoft's next game? February, June, or September? Actually, Al, why don't you do that? Let's put a poll up. Let's put a poll up in chat. Give it a good long amount of time, like a half hour or some shit. Like, when do we bet? When do they announce it? Not when it comes out. When is it announced? Is it announced February, June, or September? What do y'all think? Better be February direct, and then 7th are on the February state of play. Damn, that'd be some hot shit, chat. That'd be some hot shit.
That wasn't even
Probably
a
not till
warm-up.
September. I mean, as far as planets aligning, it is looking like a late, like the game would come out late this year.
Monsters of the world, beware!
Maybe June release towards the end of the year. So, Nico, you're saying it's announced in September, comes out around May of 27. What's the months again? February, June, September. What's up, Crods?
No. They want to come after us?
Whirlwind! It's me you want!
That's a big help. I'll have to pick up the pace. Uppercut!
Where are ya?
I'm feeling full of beats.
So if you're wondering why this game has all these weird slowdown moments, this is why 60 frames isn't a toggle. They have all this built-in slow-mo shit for the game that would have to be retuned for 60.
Now, what would the best response be?
Early look on June, release date on September, release in early 27. Well, personally, I think, like Animal Crossing Switch comes out Switch 2 edition comes out this month, and, you know, that's already going to be a thing by the next Direct. Mario Tennis will also be, like, it's out. Like, there's not going to be much more they need to say about, like, Mario Tennis. What the fuck is it? Whatever the Mario Tennis game, it's pretty much going to be out. Also, I don't know how much more. Oh shit.
We can get them back, huh? Break! Full of beans. Revolt uppercut! There goes the enemy.
Illusory blow!
I lost the enemy's attention. Stop that! I'll be your opponent. Thanks for that.
Lord, my companion's power.
I'm feeling full of beans.
Piece of cake.
That wasn't even a warm-up.
Man, it's not fair. This game running so good. Fuck. Fuck. By the way, Nico, I beat Trails. I beat it. And I'm almost thinking of warming up a can of decaf. I'm wondering why the game was actually split in two at this point. I'm like, I feel like this could have been one game if we're mostly going to the same areas in the next one. I feel like this should have been like the mid-game twist.
Let's have it then.
Thing is, though, I'm actually
This is pretty rare, right?
I'm actually committed to seeing this through. Like, I want to see at least where Trails goes. Like, I at least want to see this story through to the end.
When did it get so late?
Not super done, just kind of like, because like again, I'm so like it feels so frustrating where it's like, if this game just had fucking budget, this game just, if they just had time. I think the other thing too is that aesthetically I like it so much, you know. Well, I like the aesthetic. I like the colors and the art and and I like the vibe so much. I want to like it so much more than it does. And then like the budget just sort of like, no.
You smell nice. Guess I won't see you for a while.
Come and visit.
Yeah, I will, I promise.
I want to hear you play again.
Without a piano, Tricky?
Then bring one with
you?
We'll all miss you guys.
It's been a long time coming. Place is full up.
Don't forget to call us soon as you arrive.
Yeah. A second city. We'll make it greater than you can ever imagine.
Well, I wonder if
Them fighting
there's part of
words.
me that wonders, like, if it got more successful, would that mean they wouldn't have to do a game a year? Could they maybe like put themselves in a position where they could float themselves for a couple years, you know, between releases? Maybe, I don't know.
Nael! Remember your promise?
I don't. Well, I mean, they have to make a game a year, so it's like they don't have, they don't have their company will not be able to sustain itself if they don't have new product, you know, like they need that yearly revenue here. Here, I'll jump in. Dismiss this shit. Here. Boink. Let's see if he picks up. I'll put on the coffee.
Hey there.
Ayo.
But yeah, so yeah, I watched your playthrough and saw all the way through and
What is
oh
that?
wait, I think
Some sort of
I don't hear
tower?
myself.
I hear you.
No, I'm hearing myself. Am I hearing myself through you? Oh, I'm sorry. I had the stream on still. I was like, why am I hearing double? Yeah, I watched you all the way
I'm
through.
going in.
And I heard your thoughts in the end, and I think all your critiques are completely reasonable. You're not wrong that the game's budget is not nowhere near the level of like. The funny thing is about this, I think that my view on it is I played the original version of the game.
Yeah,
and that game is old as sin, and it's like this game looked bad. Like, dude, the original was so old, and like it looked like a PS1 game at most. It had so little details, and the best thing that it had about it was the face portraits. The artwork. I actually really kind of missed the face portraits because the artwork they did for that game was really good.
Yeah,
they did their best to transition to 3D, but there's some stuff that was missing that I really add a lot of character, especially for like Estelle. And funny enough, it is impressive. They did at moments really go out of their way to choreograph like fight scenes with the characters, like little chibi models, and there were like multiple parts where Agate fights Lorenz, and that scene they actually did it in 3D. That fight that you saw in the remake was done exactly the same as it was in 2D. I remember seeing that part and going, "What the fuck? What the like the amount of choreography they like stuck in with these little sprites." Like they're just getting moments where suddenly they're like, "Holy shit!" Like we're gonna put a ton of effort into it. So to me, the game is like in comparison to that, it's so much better. But you're not wrong in that. Yeah, is there like maybe 8 to 10 canned animations for every character? Pretty much. They mostly just kind of standing around, and then there's weird moments where characters will get like suddenly like, oh god, the budget kicked in, and they start moving around, and like someone actually mocap something, and then yeah, I 100% agree. It is very weird, and I was only told about this. Apparently, this is a very normal thing for Trails. They do this in later games too. That there will be like moments where like you're introduced to a new character or something, and that character will be voiced, and nobody else is voiced.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, it is very weird. I very much wish that they did not do that.
That's just, to me, that's just a weird, like, oh, well, that's just odd. That's just like an oddity, really. Like,
yeah.
Like, I think the more thing that stood out to me more was there were so many scenes where, like, oh, someone wishes to speak with you. Oh, you need to go meet this person. And, like, it does this thing where it does, like, this camera shot where it's, like, it's doing, like, a slow turn camera, like, mid-shot slow turn of a character just sitting at a table. And then they just sort of, like, hi. And, like, and they have, like, this... Everyone has like this really proper sitting animation, you know, where they're sitting good posture sitting. And then it goes to like the characters who sit at the table, and they basically do the thing. Like they have like these repeated shots of sitting at a table. Like there's these weird things where like there's so many moments where it's like meet this new character. They're sitting at a chair at a desk or whatever, and then you go and you sit at the chair desk across from them, and you just have this sort of like blah 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 da 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 da, and the conversation might be actually fairly interesting, but they're just kind of like, look, man, it's a room and it's a desk and a chair. I don't know. What do you want from me?
what do you want me to do? Yeah. Yeah.
So it's kind of like there's no like they don't have any, and even if they did have the means to make it like, you know, dynamic or engaging, they don't have the time to do it. They just don't. So.
Yeah, it's interesting to me because that was something that never really, because I'm like,
I think the 3D points it out harder than the 2D probably does.
Yeah, because it's like you're willing to give it a little bit of slack when it's just a bunch of message boxes. Because at times you're just like, it's like a visual novel, you know? Like they're just sitting there and a bunch of message boxes are popping up. But when things are in full 3D, yeah, it is a bit more noticeable. I didn't notice it as much because I was coming off of such an old game, and going into this, it just felt like, oh yeah, everything's just generally a lot better. But when I watched you play it and hear you talk about it, I'm like, yeah, no, he's definitely right about that. Like these games are, like, it's funny to me that this game, as much as it is still like pretty cheap looking at times, is still like the best looking game that I think Falcom has ever actually produced.
It's so weird, right? Where like there's times where the game actually looks pretty darn good. Like, hey, this is a nice looking game, and then sometimes you're like, oh yeah, this game doesn't have much. Like they didn't have much time to put this room together. Like, you know, all the interiors kind of are just like whatever, chair, desk, lamp, chair, whatever. Like we don't have, there's no detail here.
And a lot, I will say, a lot of the things that you criticize about Liberl in general, just being very samey. Like a lot of areas feel the same. A lot of that is also legacy stuff, and I'd almost. To me, it was like they were faithful to the original, and at times maybe to a fault, where they probably could have put a bit more pizzazz to give towns a bit of a flavor to it. But they really, like, everything was, I swear to God, 1-to-1, just in full 3D, and it was on one hand was really impressive because I literally, like, I had just come off playing this game like a year before, so I actually still kind of knew where things were, and everything just was exactly as I remembered it, in all the same places in the exact same way. Structures are the same, like even like the transitions between maps, which I was at least impressed. Like they got like a way for you to like fully transition. There was like no load points. I was like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that was nice.
But like, yeah, like, and it was something that I noticed too when I played the original, where it's like, yeah, a lot of towns are very similar looking in Liberl. Like the first two towns, Roland and Bose, the only difference is that Bose really just has like a big central market, but in terms of its actual like architecture, it's kind of the same looking. And then you get the harbor area, which is like, all right, this is kind of a nice change of pace with a big bridge, and it's a bit more exotic looking. And then Zeiss is easily the biggest like weird one with like escalators and stuff. But even if the buildings still kind of look the same, but there's like a bit of techno shit thrown in there.
I think the problem there too also is like because there's the sort of Ludo narrative dissonance happens where like Estella's like, oh my gosh, this bridge, it goes up and down, and they're super fascinated by it. And it's this kind of basic looking 3D bridge. It's not like super huge or anything. It's like there's not a lot of flourish around it. And it's like the story in the story in the head of the writer versus what they could and had time to make is just sort of like a little bit at odds with each other, you know? Where it's just like, man, if this game and yeah, if the reason the reason why is Falcom broke? No, it's just that. And here's the I hate having to go back to this, but I don't think the JRPG genre. Ooh, that's hello emulator. I don't think the JRPG genre actually, to this day, I don't think it has that many fans. I think we've accumulated somewhere between 2 to 4 million player base of fans who love the genre are willing to try out, and 3 at best, right? It's like somewhere between 2 and 3, and the rest are mostly gooners. They're kind of there because they're in to be a little bit more, I don't know, less rage baity. They're there because for like the dispatch reasons. They want to have that vicarious dating sim aspect. And I hate to say it, but it kind of like the gameplay in Fire Emblem Engage is apparently really good, but nobody liked Fire Emblem Engage. And what did Fire Emblem Engage not have? Didn't have dating. It had Pepsi Kun.
I didn't even know that.
No dating in Fire Emblem Engage. So just Colgate Chan and Pepsi Kun.
Yeah, I was like, that's why I couldn't play the game. I'm like, dude, these characters are so fucking ugly. I just can't get over it.
Right.
Get over how absolutely horrendous the character design was.
Like huge decrease from 3 houses to Fire Emblem Engage, and yeah, I think the main characters are part of it. And this is the fact that it didn't have that sort of engaging story. It didn't have the dating sim, life sim aspect. And Persona to Metaphor, I feel kind of followed the similar trajectory where it's like Metaphor sold good, but the 9 million Persona 5 fans didn't run over to Metaphor, even though it was the next game from the company, and they're like, well, there's no dating in it. And it's like, well, shit.
Hey, I'm gonna be honest. I definitely got to give them kudos for that, though. I think that for what that game, that they actually went out of their way to make a new IP like that, I will give credit where credit is due for.
Yeah, I think it's great, but to me it was almost like it's sobering to realize that people were only into Persona because they wanted to argue and debate.
Oh yeah.
They were there for the dispatch, aspect.
Yeah, love sims and sex is always just gonna be, it's always gonna sell. It's if you got attractive characters and you give them the ability to bump uglies, then it's gonna do better probably than the game that doesn't let you do that. Hell, even in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, we get to fucking make out with Tifa in a gondola.
Yeah.
I got to that part and I couldn't fucking believe. I'm like, what the hell, Hamaguchi? I didn't think you had it in you, man. Oh my god. And that just got everybody talking, it's even more so so it's and I think it's fine. I personally, it doesn't I don't mind if it's there as long as it's not super fucking distracting. Yeah. And I will say, your critiques against Estelle and Joshua, and you're by the end, you're I just don't buy this. I'm never gonna be okay with
this.
They
kept pushing it all the way into chapter 4, and that's why I was like, why are you doing this?
I know. Trust me, I completely understand. I was in the same fucking boat where I'm just like, God damn it, stop talking about it. And it's I got it by the end. I sort of came to a rather a begrudging acceptance of it, because I do think that they are good for each other. I just genuinely hate the setup in that regard. But there's a few things I will say, and some of this is definitely copium, is me trying to sort of in my brain try to make it less weird. Okay, few things. One thing is At no
No,
point, I
not
think,
that
in
one.
the Japanese
This is
dub,
the original Colony
Estelle
9.
and Joshua are not, at the very least, aren't going like Oni-chan and like doing that like all the time. They're not doing that in the English dub either. She's not like referring to him as anything but Joshua. He's like, it's not like, you know, if they were doing that, that would have been the last like straw. I'm like, there's no way, I'm fucking done. I will never be okay with it, because then it really feels like, because then that feels like mega perverse. But I think what the game is trying to go for, I think this is my reasoning behind why do they push it so
Though I guess
hard.
that won't mean
I think
anything
the
to you
reasoning
one
they
way or
go
another.
for, aside from the fact that it is also a big cultural thing with Japan, where they love this trope for some fucking reason. But I think outside of that, I think Estelle is trying to like reason why she shouldn't be with Joshua or something, and she's like, well, like I've seen him like a brother, and everyone's like, no, not really, like, think about it, you guys are actually pretty good for each other, you know, like, and that's why she keeps fucking bringing it up, because at any moment where they like bring up the possibility that you could be together, it's like, well, no, because we're like brother and sister, and it's like, and every time you hear it, you're like, and then and it's like, and I think that's what they're trying to go for. It doesn't make it any less horrendously cringe and painful. And there's still a part of me that's never fully like, I like these two characters a lot. I actually, and Joshua gets way better in the second game. He is a boring sack of potatoes in part one. All right.
Yeah,
He's
it's like,
just,
okay, you know, he's hiding something. Like, that's about all the
Right.
The most interesting thing about it is that like he knows things about the world that he maybe shouldn't, or he does,
Yeah.
which you know, there's just like the subtle implication. Joshua has a history that he's not
Right.
telling you, and they sort of like really emphasize that at the lakeside scene.
right.
But yeah, like there's it's kind of interesting that like him leaving is like the most interesting thing he does at the end of the game.
I know. It's funny to me, I actually really like the ending to the game. I know you were not a huge fan of it, and I sort of get what your argument was, where it feels like the game's kind of blue balling you with what was probably the most interesting plot points, of like, oh yeah, what's going on with Joshua and all that. They sort of blue ball you with what's going on with Professor Alba and that shit. And like that all seems really interesting, all this interesting intrigue and stuff. And the whole thing with Richard just didn't feel quite on that level. It's like, it's kind of cool and sort of interesting, but not on like that just doesn't have that same level of intrigue.
Yeah,
It's
and
much more
there
like
was-
surface level.
There was something the Queen said that I thought was like the characters didn't really mention it, and it was just sort of like skipped over. And I've been at the chat. I think someone told me, like, I was like, what is this about? And they're like, do you really want to know? I'm like, yes, because this actually like irks me. Because the Queen was like, yeah, there was this incident. I'll get, we'll talk about that some other day. I'm like, fuck you. What? Which was the incident where I think it was Ebronia framed Labarl for burning a village. I think Joshua's village. They framed them. They did a false flag op so that they could invade to take over Labarl. And I'm like, but that part of it is actually not in part one. They're just saying like, oh yeah, in the past, there was an incident. We won't talk about that incident. But then they invaded, and then they pushed us all the way back to the capital. I'm like, hold on, lady. What ensuing incident? Like,
and you understand the reason why they wait, right? Like the whole thing, because it's so closely tied to Joshua and everything, and like so so much of the game and all of that intrigue is basically saved for the game that comes after, because they don't want to they want all that shit to be released in like a massive moment of, oh fuck, and like that the Queen knew about all this shit, and like the dark of the government and
it felt like
so.
it felt like Maz Kanata being like, here, take this lightsaber. Where did you get this? That is a story for another day. I'm like, what?
Like, no, really though. Yeah, like I know there are times where you want characters to where you're like, you have a question and you don't understand why they're not asking the question that you're thinking. Like isn't that like the very logical thing to ask them in that moment? And I get you.
There was like that, and I can't forget what else it was, but there was like something I'm like, this feels like there was something here, and like, that's explained later. I'm like, but why? Why not now? And like
Yeah,
even
everything-
Richard actually kind of like, other than the fact that like yeah they tease that, they actually explain it by the end of the game with Professor
they do.
Alba, where it's like you don't even like where like Joshua calls him out, it's like you don't even remember why you're doing this or how you learn this information. It's like,
Right.
well, that doesn't matter. But I liked how he's like, look, man, our population is a fifth of Calvard. You know, our military is like an eighth the size of Arabonia. Like, we're screwed. You know, we're basically sitting ducks here. So I actually kind of understood his motive and drive, but like, they also kind of like just kind of left it like, well, here's this ancient civilization. You broke the seal, but we're not going into any more detail about that.
A lot. That's what. So that is the absolute slow burn of this series, right? And it is, and there are multiple moments, and this is not going to be the last moment. All right, so that is not going to be like, all right, well, the next game, gonna get all the answers, and like, no, you're still going to get moments where you're like, wait, but what about this thing? Don't worry about it. Like, or is this thing significant? Don't worry about it. I had that happen where an incident gets brought up in Trails of the Third, the notorious door that I told you about, right? About one of the characters in like a brothel situation as a child being passed around a bunch of wealthy dickheads, right? And I just thought, oh, exactly. And I just thought, oh, okay, so this is just like some horrendous thing that's in here. I'm like, but is the thing related to anything? Like, why did this happen? Like, my question was also like, okay, what is the narrative purpose behind this? Is just to be like, let's just get really fucked up. Like everything else in the game is like, there is dark moments, but nothing touches how insanely dark this is. And I'm like, I go, that's fucked up and crazy. But I'm also like, but why? Why did we, like, it's just to show the horrendous thing of mankind, but also want to throw out there in the back of my head too, like, we've also been making a lot of jokes about like generally underage kids and like hooking up and shit, and like one of the things I genuinely hate, and it's probably still gonna be there. I don't think they do it as much in the first game, but I think they do it some in the second game. Actually, maybe they do some in the first game. I don't remember. I don't know if there are any moments in the first game where people are, for whatever reason, are shipping Tita with Agate, like, in the world.
Yeah, that happened.
That
happens in the first game a little bit. There was like they played it off as this joke with the smuggling in the box area, and I'm like, this is so like not appropriate, like, because
I know
they're playing it. The game is playing it for laughs, where they're like they show like a side view of the box, and the character says a dialogue which sounds really horrendous out of context, and then they cut to inside, and oh, it's really just this, and you're like, okay, you're making this a joke. That's kind of gross, dude. like
unfortunately, I think that this Trails in the Sky has just those moments that, like, basically just have to go, I have to just like pretend it's not there and not think about it, because it's like these sporadic, insanely Japanese anime cringy moments that, like, where like 95% of the game is pretty good, and then we'll just do this shit where like we're like, okay, now we need meet our anime quota, and so we got to say something, and unfortunately it doesn't end there. There is like some shit in Trails the Third game where, like, I shit you not, there is some like stuff that some characters say that I just go, oh my fucking god, shut up, I fucking stop. Like, it's really funny because they'll ship Tita and Agate together in this weird like teasing way, but like Tita and Agate are actually the most normal about it. Like, they treat it like, oh yeah, we're friends, we're not fucking weirdos, you weirdos, and everyone's like, ha ha ha, and like playing it up for laughs, and Tita and Agate are like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, I find it so funny. Like, they're almost like us, the audience, watching this happen. We're like, why are you saying this? Why are you doing this? Like, so shit like that, I hate it. And unfortunately, it permeates so much of the Sky trilogy in particular. I'm finding it, I think it's one of the reasons why I'm actually really loving the arc that comes afterwards with the Crossbell stuff, is that there's way less of that. Like, just, oh god, like, it's just so horrendously cringy anime stuff that, like, again, the brother and sister stuff, this like weird like teasing about like an underage girl with an older guy, and you're like, what the hell? And then going back to this door, right, where it's like, but also here is this child that is being assaulted by older men, and you're like what the fuck? So it is evil, and that's bad. So why are we joking about it? Like,
yeah.
And so anyway, but my point was like, well, then what is the narrative purpose of this scene? Is this actually, like, other than just, okay, we made this character and she's had this horrible traumatic past, and it turns out it took another game after that, after that reveal and stuff, they actually revealed, no, what happened to her and the situation around that actually is tied to another antagonist outside of the regular society. And I'm like, oh shit. And its reveal was pretty cool. I actually was like, what the fuck? Like, this is actually leading to something. And that's the beauty, but also what can be frustrating with Trails, where it is the slow burn aspect of knowing that, like, you will not always get all the details to the things that you want, and you're like, and characters will just for some reason not ask the questions that they probably should be asking. But it leads to a moment where they then answer it and they pay it off in a way that leads to something that, like, oh fuck, like, oh, they actually did plan this out. Like, there's a character
I'll go on ahead to the
that
command
is,
center and have your if you'll excuse
I
me.
haven't even gotten, I think I'm starting Trails to Azure. I just started it yesterday, which is the second game in the Crossbow, the second and final game of the Crossbow arc.
Catch up on things to settle down a bit.
And the same characters between Azure and Zero?
Yes, yeah, it's the same characters. So, and that there is an antagonist that gets teased in part 3, and I thought, oh, like you see him, he's really cool. He gets actually some like one of probably the best plot doors that's in Trails the Third is this conversation between Olivier and this new antagonist, and it's this like really like clever back and forth of them trying to one up each other, because they're like, oh, I saw your plan and did this, and then he did this thing, and then they like it's actually like generally I went through that and I went, oh my god, that scene was fucking amazing. What the fuck? I wish the whole game was like this. Trails the Third's a weird game, but it's so good. Like, if you don't ever play Trails the Third, which I wouldn't blame you, I would almost recommend at the very least seeing the scene, because it's so good. And anyway, it sets up this antagonist, and he's like, he mentions things about Crossbow, and I go, oh shit, he's gonna be the main antagonist in Trails from Zero. He wasn't. He actually doesn't even show up. You see another character related to him get involved in stuff, but he doesn't show up, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm assuming he's gonna show up here. But here's the thing. In Trails, in the very first Trails in the Sky game, and I only realized this when I went back to the remake, they actually bring up this character. Like, Olivier brings up this character to, I think, Shira at one point. Like, it gets like something about him gets brought up, and it's like a toss away line, and I go, and I'm like, I'm streaming it, and I look at my chat, I'm like, guys, are they talking about who I think they're talking about? Wait, was this in the original? Like, did they add this? And he goes, oh yeah, no, it was in the original. I went, what? Like, you described Trails, and this is a very apt description for Trails. Described Trails as like the One Piece of like JRPGs, and it absolutely is. And that comes with the good and the bad. And the cool thing about it is that so much stuff is actually planned. Like, this isn't Nomura and Kingdom Hearts, where Nomura like plans maybe one game ahead, but otherwise he'll basically put a plot point down and then just be like, I'll explain it eventually. I don't know what a purpose for this thing is. Like, there's like I remember there's like this rope, this machine that shows up at the very end of Kingdom Hearts 1, and they finally explained what it was. Like, we had no idea what it was for like 8 games, and then they explained it in the fucking mobile game what it is, and we're like, oh, is that what that was for? Okay, sure. Like, that's how Nomura writes his stories.
I feel he's a bit like George Lucas, where it's like, I have this all planned out, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, he will maybe at most do it like a game ahead of time, but he basically is just like, I'm just gonna throw a bunch of shit around and then come up for reasons for it to exist later. Kondo is a lot more like Oda, where he is 1 billion% like has like a plan for stuff, and
Wow,
it's so much like
Would you
of
like
a
to
waiting
take
game and a
started?
slow burn to get
Why
to
not?
that point,
I'll be
but the
waiting for you
payoff
over
is
there, Puff.
hella good. But sometimes you feel like you're waiting forever, right?
Mm.
So
Alright then,
there are
don't
like
mind if
things
we
that
do.
actually get brought up,
Let's
toss
go
away
have a
lines
shifty,
and
guy.
characters and moments and things that are actually they actually do. Like I saw you throughout you while playing through Trails in the Sky, where you're like, is there a point to this? Where you just like asked like, is there a point to what this thing is going on? And it's like, yeah, there is, but it's not till the next game. And it's like, and that is the maddening part of it, because so much of these games were meant to be like one game. Like there are multiple things about that. I think the Crossball stuff was meant to be one game. The Trails in the Sky 1 and 2 were meant to be one game, and Trails the Third is like this weird tacked on thing at the end that has good moments, but it feels like an outlier, and it's almost in a lot of ways I want to wrap up like certain plot points, but we couldn't figure out an organic way to do it, so we have these weird plot doors spread throughout the game. It's a weird, it's super fucking weird, but there's good stuff in there, but it's told very odd. And then I've heard the same thing for, I think, Cold Steel. I think like Cold Steel 1 and 2 I think were meant to be one game, and then I think 3 and 4 were meant to be one game, but like, and I guess it could have to do with,
Well
as
done,
you
then.
said, that maybe this has to do with how Falcom, I didn't really
Then
know
let's
this,
move
that
swiftly on.
Falcom is like, they have to like get a game out every year. If it's just like they have to grind this stuff out, so they just
Yeah.
can't fit
The
it in
city
time.
folks I saw actually look pretty happy to
Or
be here,
or
huh?
what exactly the
It's good
development
to see.
process is.
There are fellow
Um,
liberators now, after all.
But at the very least, I can at least say that a lot of the things that you ask when you're like, is there a purpose to this?
Thanks for that.
There usually is. Like, I'd say 90% of the time. Was there a point to the play necessarily? It was like, did that have a narrative purpose? That was them probably embellishing a bit too much. I didn't mind it too much because I thought it was cute, but I also kind of get, because like, I think looking back at it, I think people said you actually can't even skip it. But I'm like, oh, that's kind of a bad call. Like, you can't even, I don't think you could even pause and skip it. When
Yeah,
the original,
you're watching this
could.
play. You sit down and you watch. You paid for
Feels
this
like
ticket.
a waste.
Yeah, you absolutely actually could in the original. Like the original had it like,
It's a gem
dude, you can
casting furnace.
fucking in these
Pretty
older
antique one.
games, like holding, if you turn on turbo mode and hold down the skip dialogue button, you could go through like a full scene that would last 20 minutes in like 10 seconds.
Right, this is right.
It's kind of amazing. It's like, but yeah, like there is a lot of stuff that is set up, and it's set up for like the next game.
This is the command
and
center. It's
that's why a
where
lot of
the
people like
captains
SC a
convene,
lot
where
more.
we plan our
But I will
strategies and
say,
manage affairs.
even
nerve
to
center
give
of the liberators,
FC
you
some
could
credit,
say.
I actually like the pacing of
Well
FC
met,
a little bit
everyone.
better, because you're going from town to town solving problems,
I'm
but it's a
happy
little
to
bit
Great.
less obvious
Cheers
what
for that.
is necessarily going on. Like, I actually liked that
Oh,
Mayor
let me show
Dalmore
you
ended
the
up
way.
being a bad guy, because it sort of threw a twist at us of like, oh yeah, you can actually have like a leader of a town, and he's a fucking psycho, you know? It's
Yeah.
like,
That'd be great.
and I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. It shows that it's not like everyone's just like, hello, I'm the village elder, and I will help you on your quest. And, you know, it's like, no, it's like there are like crazy people in the government, and not everybody's good. And
Yeah.
because even you were saying at that point, too, I remember you were like, dude, like, is everyone just like fucking nice in this world? Everyone's just like a little too nice.
Yeah, and then that was literally for that mayor for that town who was
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
corrupt. And
Yeah,
here's a good
exactly.
example. And chat, this is an example of why 60 frames actually breaks cutscenes in emulation. You can't just toggle
Oh,
the
no.
on or off.
Never seen a field.
Like, it's just in this weird slow mo. I'm like, yes, guys, like you can't.
No.
This is not a toggle. And if you do toggle it, shit like this happens. Congrats.
Those guys, they're Kavesi and Agnian soldiers, aren't they?
But yeah, I was lurking a little bit because you were doing.
They
You were
were.
basically doing a stream where you were going through all the unknown
Teacher
and
and the others freed
announced
them.
stuff for next year. And you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
like, which was kind of a good refresher because I mean, there's actually a lot of stuff coming out this year that I'm like, I forget about, just straight up.
Yeah, we got some pretty exciting stuff. I'm excited as fuck for dang old grandpa. All right.
Oh, Dango
Dango Grandpa
Grandpa
was
V2, 2.2 or whatever.
Yeah, dude, that shit was dead.
What
That shit
in
was
the-
fucking dead. And now it's
Doesn't look
back,
like
and I'm
they
like,
died in
oh
combat.
fuck. Oh, I
All
don't
the
believe it.
husks around here are
Do you
whipped
still
thin.
have to play the whole game
You
from
think they
scratch?
starved?
Maybe.
I think the
this
way
much
they're
wildlife
that's
around
gonna be
here.
one of the things that's I'm
Most
really
things
curious
around these
about. I
parts
think
are
they said you
poisonous.
can just play the
Not
new
really
version
edible.
in this
Well,
quote unquote
there's
remake.
half
They
the
have like, 'cause they
price.
have two stories,
Don't they
like
get
the
those?
original and then the new
You
one.
think they got raided?
I think you can
maybe?
just play the new one,
Doubt it.
but I think the thing I'm gonna
Enemies
be
would have
most
mopped
curious
them up.
about,
No
because
sign of blade
a
wounds.
lot of us are thinking this is essentially like a
For
hidden
whatever
sequel.
reason,
Yeah.
intentional or not,
That's what hence the
these
2x2.
people
It's like, well, what's 2
were
times 2?
abandoned.
Oh, it's 4.
Local fauna
Like
aside,
we think it's
with this much
essentially
fresh
a
water,
sequel to the
they could have
original,
easily
because the
farmed.
original, like the big
There's so
plot
many
twist for the
ways they could
original
have
is
kept
that
themselves
all
alive.
of that game is essentially a simulation.
Fighting's all these guys
So
know.
what
Yeah,
they're going
but-
through, the stuff on the
You know they're
island
not
is
like
all
us.
like
Nobody
basically
taught them what could
simulation
be.
to.
What about the fat guy from? He's fat in 2, but he wasn't fat in 1. The rich kid.
Yeah, he's not actually Tagame. He was he is the ultimate
It's not as
imposter, so he
simple
disguised himself as
plant some
people.
seeds, wait for
So
the harvest.
that was actually not him, but it's
We're
still
teaching them
great
the
because
ins
I
and
still that
outs,
shit
as
too.
you
It made
can
me
see.
laugh my ass off because I always hated Tagame, so
We're
I'm like,
showing
he's
them
a
there's
big
more to
fat
life
shithead.
than
This is
that.
awesome. Like,
You
but yeah,
didn't
it
do
turns out
this
it's not
in the
actually
city.
him, and you ended up seeing the real Tagame
No.
later. He like inserts himself
We
into the
did do that
simulation,
stuff.
but.
we did.
We're thinking the thought process behind it is that we think they're like doing another simulation for some reason. We don't really know why they would be doing it, but like so they could create essentially another game. But I think the thing we're gonna really be like, I think it's gonna be really telling is if you start the new version of the game, like the new story, and if the game actually recommends that you play the original, like the original story, then I'll be like certain. I'm like, oh, this is a fucking sequel. You know, this isn't just
Yeah.
like a what if scenario, or like if we like just for fun, you know, what if things went differently? But
The tents we've set up for you are
I'm
further
excited
up
about it.
along this
What
road.
are you excited about for next year?
Phantom Blade 0 for sure.
Oh fuck yeah, dude!
And I mean, playing Sekiro has just made me miss Phantom
So
Blade
thoughts,
0
impressions?
because like
Yeah.
it's not like one is Wuxia and one is ancient Japan, like Sengoku era, but like they're both
Yeah.
fantasy.
And it's so big.
So it's not exactly the
This
exact
world's
same
different
area,
from our colonies.
but
For
it's
now,
like
anyway,
Phantom Blade
we'll be
0
glad
is
of your
basically
hospitality. Is
it's
that
all
right?
the answers to all the annoyances I have with Sekiro. Like everything that
Mm-hmm.
bugs the shit out of me design wise in Sekiro is actually just directly
And these will be
addressed
your
because the director doesn't like it either. Like he just personally doesn't like it. He hates runbacks. Like checkpoints, far away checkpoints from boss. He's like, I hate that. It's why wasting your time. Why are we punish? He's like, why are we punishing you for time? We should be punishing you to like, you know, learn the boss pattern.
Yeah.
And shit like that. And enemies, I forget. There is a way to respawn the enemies. Like I think you have to like manually do it. But he's like, yeah, like if you're just playing the game, and you die, you go back to a checkpoint. I'm not gonna just respawn a bunch of enemies over and over. Yeah, because I don't think it's there is a skill tree, but
Is there like a currency or like when you kill enemies, you like get something, or is it just more like to get them
Feel
out of
free
the
to use
way,
all
or
the
something?
facilities
like
here at
like
your
a
leisure.
zone-based thing?
there's something. But they said they weren't gonna talk about it. Like, because we were
Okay.
asking about like the upgrade. How does the upgrade system work? How does the and they're like, we're not ready to talk about that. So it was kind of like, okay, so something's there, but they're not quite ready to talk about it yet. A lot of it is more about like getting a weapon or getting a skill, because there's so many weapons and skills in the game. There's like 50 something weapons total, or close to that.
That's crazy, and
Yeah.
because the amount of like variety
make
of
the
what I was
most
seeing,
of
just
it.
even from like the
It's
stuff that you
alright.
had, like
All right then.
it
a
was
bit-
it
that
was
reminds
insane.
me.
Like it
Ryu
wasn't
said you
like,
had
oh
some
yeah, this
business
was
with
just
me.
kind of like this one, just like
Huh?
it has a
Who's
parry
Riku?
in it, but the
Oh,
moveset's the same.
You've
It's
not
like no,
met
they're
him
like
yet, Matthew.
totally different. To have and it
Yeah.
has that much variety that's really cool.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm very much looking forward to that game. Like, Phantom Blade Zero is a big one. I hope Stranger Than Heaven comes out.
Me too, man.
I hope it does, because I've been liking their games a lot lately. So really liking that studio stuff. So yeah, I hope that comes out this year. I don't know if it will.
Are you gonna try Kwame 3?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That game's. I will say, did you ever play the original Yakuza 3?
I beat it.
Oh, you did. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
I mean,
Dude,
it wasn't as good as Kiwami 2 because I went from Kiwami 2 to like 3 remaster or whatever it is.
Yeah,
And I was like, yeah, okay, it's not as good, but I didn't think it was terrible. People were like, this is the worst game in the series, and I was like, it was all right.
It's fine. It's nice because you see Kiryu like in a moment of his life when he's actually like kind of happy, like, and then like I always laugh because there's like this one chapter that's I think literally called the plot, and you get that this one guy who's I call him Exposition Man, and he just tells you like the whole plot of the game and like story, and he's like, well, anyway, here's what's been going on the whole time while you've been like playing with the kids and stuff, and Kiryu's like, oh, okay. He's like, he just like regurgitates the whole plot in like 20 minutes, and Kiryu's like, all right, he's like, so you gotta go do something about that, Kiryu. And Kiryu's like, okay.
Dude, I never finished 5. 5 killed me. Like 5 broke me with the Haruka stuff. The Haruka gameplay just broke me, huh? And then distracted and done.
I'm
really
excited about the Mine stuff though for that because, dude, I
fun.
love that's, dude. He was one of my favorite like Yakuza bad guys. I thought he was one of the reasons why he was so great as outside of like the charisma and stuff of just his character and his voice actor was just that he was right. He was basically like most of the things he was saying about like Kiryu and what he was trying to do was like he was kind of right. And they ended up killing him off, and I was so sad because I was like, no, this bitch has so much potential. Fuck. Like RGG has a bad habit of killing off like really interesting characters in their games. So then they were like, oh, we're gonna give him a prequel where we see him like come to terms, and I'm like, fuck yeah. So I'm very excited. And he gets his own
demon mode, demon flip mode.
Yeah.
Which it comes out soon, so anyone who hasn't played it, you'll see it soon. It's really fun because you can literally hop off of players. Like you beat them up, you climb up on them, and like jump off them onto other players.
Yeah,
like
that's
you
cool.
do like head stomping shit. It's fun. Yeah, it's Devil Trigger mode. He basically has like a Devil Trigger mode. He goes,
oh, did you actually play it?
Yeah, I played it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that was back for the TGS build. So yeah, that one was weird because it was like they're like, oh yeah, no more than 10 minutes, like no more than 10 minutes of footage. And I'm like, is that 10 minutes? You mean, is that for both Kiwami 3 and Dark Ties, or 10 for each? And they were like not getting back to me, and I'm like, it's probably just 10 total. So I'll just err on the side of caution there. And then the guy was like, yeah, please, no more than 10 minutes total. And I was like, fuck, I thought so. Well, good. I literally made 2 videos, so I was like, good thing I did that, but...
Yeah, so little though. It's 10 minutes for like both of those.
Yeah, well, it's like I got to play it I recorded it for like 2 hours, and they're like, no more than 10 minutes of footage. I was like, fuck.
Oh, okay, just as long as only 10 minutes public. Gotcha. Yeah.
Like I was like, damn. So that was a little rough, but I mean, it's still good though. What won the poll? I didn't see either. Your team September for like May 27.
I want to be wrong about that. Like I just please don't let that happen. But like Nintendo feels very much like we're just in cruise mode. We're just gonna go. They feel like they're sort of like in arrogant mode. Like we're just gonna kind of cruise along here and release shit at an absolute drip feed. I don't know. They just seem like they're not really feels like they're not really trying to make the Switch to like this absolute necessity that we sort of hoped they'd want to try to do.
I think it's gonna bite them in the ass really hard. Personally,
I think it will too. That's
I'm sure it does fly.
like I don't really get the mindset behind it, but it's almost like they're just begging for another Wii U. It feels to me like they're almost like we're just gonna ride the success of the Switch 1 and use that to like get interest in the Switch 2, and just that's it though. We're not really in a massive hurry to like make this thing take off. Like I don't know. It's weird, man. It's just so fucking weird. Like I'm not even, to be honest, like as much as Smash Brothers was this huge success and we've all assumed like they have to make another Smash Brothers, right? Because that one did so well. I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm almost like thinking they might not, like legit. They might just not do it. I could almost see them do that because
they'll just keep selling Ultimate.
Yeah, they'll just like they will like maybe we'll get like an update for like performance for Smash, but like literally will get like no new content or no new things, and we'll all be like years later going, why did they do that? And then we'll all look at each other and go, oh, that's right. Nintendo does weird shit like this all the goddamn time, where they don't do the obvious thing that would just make them a boatload of money, right? Hell, if they want to do the thing that, you know, the obvious thing would have been to never stop making content for this fucking game.
Yeah, right. They had
like,
they had their
go
Fortnite.
forever. Yeah.
No, you're not losing your mind, Dad Boy. This is running at 60. And you will never see this on your Switch 2. Sad.
At least not for a while. I don't know, man. I'm actually like, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on that. Are you like, do you feel pretty confident, like, yeah, they're gonna definitely do it, or are you like?
I think they have to eventually do one, but I also think that I personally think when I saw them doing Switch 2 editions of games, you know, Kirby, Mario Party, other things and stuff like that, and Mario Wonder, I guess, as well. I'm like, oh, this is what they're gonna do. This is absolutely what they're gonna do. Why wouldn't they do this for Smash Ultimate? Like, there's, I mean, you can hem and haw about it all day long, and people will be like, oh, it would be great if they revisited the moveset and like really changed it up. I'm like, okay, you're thinking like a hardcore fighting game player. The mass audience, the 80+% of people who bought Smash Ultimate, if you see a new Smash Brothers game and there's just less characters, less stages, less overall content, it's just going to be seen as a downgrade. Like,
right.
there's nothing that, and like, well, maybe they made the graphics really. How much better do you think a Smash Brothers game's ever really realistically going to look? Like, it's gonna run smoother, sure, but it's like it's not going to look leaps and bounds above what Ultimate looked like.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think Nintendo. My prediction. I have a video coming up tomorrow or tomorrow or the day after. I think September they will announce Smash Bros. Ultimate Switch 2 Edition, and I think it releases early 27. And I think Animal Crossing, the next actual Animal Crossing game, releases middle of the year next summer, like early summer of 27.
Ooh.
Like, I don't think they have a big gun for this year other than Pokemon, and I think they're gonna coast on Pokemon. And I honestly, this is maybe me being a little crazy, but I think Nintendo's they're gonna have Pokemon, they're gonna have Splatoon Raiders, which I'm thinking is probably running into some weird dev problems, like Part 3 also did. Jesus. Fuck, it's a big shark. But I think their back half is like, okay, we'll have Fortune's Weave in July, and what do I have? Oh, I have a list in front of me. Yeah, Pokemon. Okay, yeah, Fortune's Weave will be July, and I think Splatoon Raiders will come out in September. I think Pokemon comes out in October. I think Duskbloods is possibly November. Pokemon might be November too. Duskbloods might actually be October, and then Pokemon comes out November, like early mid to November. December, I think Monolithsoft game comes out, and I think Duskbloods, October, around October, November for Duskbloods. And I think Duskbloods is so different, obviously such a wildly different, game and audience and whatever. It really doesn't matter, because they've released games really close to Pokemon before as well.
Right.
Because Pokemon's just going to sell. Again, the games look like garbage, and they run like shit, and they sell amazing.
Right.
Pokemon fans have no standards, no shame, no self-esteem. So, yeah, like, stuff say what these Pokemons will always sell. But yeah, I think the combination of Pokemon, Splatoon, and then they're gonna have a FromSoft game, and They're gonna have a Monolithsoft game. They're gonna have a Fire Emblem game, and I think their year's pretty set because the first half of this year is Animal Crossing update, Mario Tennis, Yoshi, Mario Wonder, Tamagotchi Life, which I think Nintendo's probably expecting more out of than that game will actually give, and then
I don't know why they would, because Tamagotchi's been
because
always like super fucking niche. Like
sold the 3DS one sold amazing, especially in Japan.
Oh, really?
Really well. It was like this super hot selling game. It's actually shocking it took this long to get to a Tamagotchi Life 2, but the problem is that nobody cares. Nintendo themselves haven't barely given a shit about the Miis. So it's one of these it's a very weird situation where I'm like, I've been wrong before. Like maybe there is a design, like children yearn for the Miis again. Maybe that's happening.
Yeah.
But like I think Nintendo expects Tamagotchi Life to be bigger than it probably will be, and I think their May game is going to be Rhythm Heaven Groove, and that's kind of just like, yeah, it's just sort of this. You throw this thing out here like Endless Ocean and just call it a day. Kind of thing. And they probably have realistic expectations for Rhythm Heaven Groove, but then after Rhythm Heaven Groove, that's going to get into, now we're getting, that's first half. So then back half is going to be more gamer-centric games, because to be real, to be pedantic, like these games are kind of bitch-made shit. For like Yoshi and the Amazing Book, a Mario Wonder update, like even Mario Tennis.
Yeah,
like,
no, these are all like very kind of just kind of lukewarm.
They're games that don't take a long time to make, and that's why they're coming out.
Yeah.
Like straight up, like they're just not, they're not high development, like games with high development costs, high development time. But
is that Yoshi game also gonna have a Switch 1 version?
I don't think so. I think it's just Switch 2, which is a Switch
it
1.
Really doesn't. It really looks like it could be a Switch 1 game.
Yeah,
honestly.
it definitely look. I'm sure it could run on a Switch 1.
Yeah, like I mean, it's got a pretty good art style, but it's not like graphically like, damn, like I need a Switch 2 to play this shit, like.
Yeah.
So what do you think they're gonna do for Smash Ultimate? If you like, so you're saying that you think it's gonna be a Smash Ultimate Switch 2
edition. You'll basically get a Fighters Pass 3. I go back and forth on whether or not the Switch 2 edition, the additions will be, say they add some characters into it. Will they also retroactively add those characters back into the Switch 1 version?
Switch 1 version, yeah.
Because they're doing that with Animal Crossing. Like Animal Crossing, like it's got a Switch 2 version, but it's just a 4K version. They're not even upping the frame rate. It's just 4K and it's $5. But the big free upgrade is for both versions. So I don't know if Sakurai is gonna feel like, okay, well we shouldn't, fuck over, the 30 million Smash Ultimate owners. As much as I think all of us, we would personally be like, no, dude, if you put rollback in Switch 2 edition, I don't care if you cut off the old player base. Fuck them. Like, give us rollback.
I'm gonna be honest though. Hasn't Sakurai talked about rollback before? And it seems like he really doesn't. It's not like he's had like no interest in it, or he was just like, whatever. Like I don't understand why people like it so much. Like there's something like he said something about it before. I feel like, and
because Sakurai lives in Japan and doesn't have the concept of people living very far away from each other.
Right? Yeah. It was something very like come on, man. Like I don't know, man. I would love to see that, but I get that the overhead probably needed to make that function probably would not be something a Switch 1 could handle. But at the same time, also like I don't know if I could see Sakurai even doing that really.
Right, because I think there's a real possibility that they do a 4K 60, or more stable version of, say, a Switch 2 version of Smash Ultimate, and they just add the characters. But they do the Animal Crossing thing, where they're like, okay, here's a $5, 4K version on Switch 2, but there's also Fighters Pass 3. It'll come to both.
Yeah.
Ooh. Now, I don't know if it'll only be first-party characters or if it'll be mostly third-party characters. I don't really know. But I do see it. I easily see this scenario happening where Sakurai does like a Switch 2 version, but it, or he does the Animal Crossing thing where the content is for both. Like the new characters will come to both platforms, but you'll just get the more stable, higher resolution version on Switch 2.
Yeah.
But
I think that does beg the question, though. Do you think, though, would having a Switch 2 version, would that be enough to be a new SKU for the game? Because that's
no,
the
it
big,
like,
like,
no,
like
no,
I know it can't, but at the same time, but like, is it like how would that not be a new SKU? It's still technically a Nintendo Switch 2 version, right? Like,
right. Like,
so how do you avoid that?
Well,
that pitfall there?
The
Like,
pitfall to me is like because it won't have the DLC characters. Like you're not when you buy the Switch 2 version of Smash Ultimate, your roster in that game is the same. Oh, did you want Sephiroth and Banjo and Joker and on Sora? You have to buy those fighter passes or those characters individually. They're not part of the roster. Everything that was add-on content will remain add-on content, like permanently. Like that's like we're not you because if you were to make a game where it's like, oh, the Switch 2 edition has all the DLC on cartridge or all bundled in, no, then that's you're renegotiating everything at that point. So I think.
But do you think is it still? I mean, for sure. Yeah, I definitely agree. If you were to add like, make it so like, yeah, the complete edition with all the DLC or something, I would definitely lead to a new SKU. But does not adding like better functionality, like a rollback netcode, graphical elements, and things like that, would that not be enough to generate a new SKU? To essentially make it essentially a new enough version of the game? Like that still to me is like, I don't know, that's still adding functionality and things to a version of the game, even if it is the original version. It's like, are remasters of games seen as, are they new SKUs?
They
generally are, right?
They generally are, yes, like pretty much.
So like I would almost see it like a remaster of it, even if it was like a Super Smash Brothers Plus, Smash Brothers Nintendo Switch 2 edition. And it's like I still feel I don't know, like I don't know how you get around that. Like even if you did do it that way and you made it run better and have like a 4K version and everything, like I guess actually the real question is, and maybe we could even look at the previous Switch 2 versions of old games. Do those lead to new SKUs? We might be able to figure that out. It's like,
they're
do those
counted
actually
as
have them?
they're counted as new SKUs, I think.
Okay. I don't know then, man. Like, because that is really the differentiating factor of like, well, is this gonna be possible without Sakura gonna have to go back to every one of these fucking developers and ask them to use their character again?
I am, well, actually, here's the really interesting thing. Like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom Switch 2 Edition are not listed in Nintendo's million sellers for Switch 2, just Mario Kart World and Bonanza. So I wonder if they're not. Huh.
So maybe they're not a new SKU then?
I wonder if they're not. I wonder if they're counting it as the same thing.
I guess who decides that, by the way? Is that something that Nintendo can decide themselves, or is there like a third party that decides like the SKU on that? I'm not actually really sure how that functions personally.
Well, I mean, I'm sure.
It's like an ESRB or something for
I'm
like
sure
yes.
I'm sure they'd have to talk to the licensees anyways and just be like, hey, we're doing this thing, but nothing's changing.
Right.
I don't think you could just do it without, because if you did do it without asking any sort of quote unquote permission, there definitely might be some lawyers coming asking things.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like I just think that like if you were gonna like the easiest, well maybe not easy, but like the best path forward is like, to me, what I would like is just a Switch 2 version where there's just like, here's rollback netcode, here's some more stages, some more characters, so on and so forth. And
that definitely seems like the path of least resistance.
Because it's like, okay, like, well, like, don't you want them to like go back to the drawing board in the game? Not really.
No. Yeah. I don't
Like
think
if-
anybody does, really.
Like, oh, it's like, oh, well, I wish Ganondorf had a more unique moveset. Sure, but you don't need to go back to the drawing board for that. You could just update his personal moveset. You could just go, you could go add a few, you could go literally, like, just part of the development pipeline is to make the echoes more unique. Like that's it.
I never.
Yeah, maybe it wouldn't count as a new SKU too if like, yeah, for example, hey, we updated all the characters like moves or adjusted things and added this, but guess what? We also added it to Switch 1 version. Like that's all there. Like,
Yeah.
So it's like it's just the Switch 2 version can just run at a better, like maybe it can run 120 FPS or something, and like
Right. Yeah.
you know, has like 4K textures and shit.
Praise us some more.
Yeah, maybe that's like the way you get around it. I think a lot of that really is going to have to do with like the politics of it, what goes behind the scenes of whether they're able to get away with that. And if they are, then that would probably be what they would do. But I will say one thing. I do also feel that Sakurai is absolutely the kind of person, like as insane as it would be, to take on the monumental task of renegotiating all of those contracts again. Like he would like, just like the idea of like I know I can't possibly one up this game again. And like, let's say Nintendo figured out like, no, there's no way we could do this without creating a new SKU. It's just like impossible. And then Sakurai's like, well, bitch, I'm gonna fucking do it. Cause he seems like that kind of person. He seems to like and relish in challenges, right?
Yeah, and I don't, because the thing is, he does relish in challenges, which is why I'm like, I'm not convinced he wouldn't try.
Yeah.
And also, again, going back to the question of like, what the fuck are you gonna possibly do to a new Smash Brothers after Ultimate? Like, what the fuck can you possibly do?
Yeah.
Like, you either make the game more complicated, you know, or you just reset moves, which that's really not that big of a deal. Like, I've heard people say, well, maybe you can make it 3D. I'm like, fuck, like, might as well make a different IP at that point.
Yeah. And like, even like Sakurai has talked about like for Subspace Emissary, he's never gonna do that shit again because he's like, oh yeah, people just look up the cutscenes on YouTube, so what's the point, you know?
Like,
and it's
I
like,
don't know, man. That is some serious that's some unk shit on him.
it is, dude. I heard that shit. I'm like, man, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, dude, that's like, and it sucks because the Subspace Emissary was like, people fucking love that mode, dude. That's like the reason people play Brawl. Like that way, people hated Brawl outside of that mode, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah. Like, yeah, it's some crazy old man yells at cloud shit.
Yeah, I agree. Like, and but I think to be honest though, I think that if they can get away with that, if they can manage to do a version that runs better on the Switch 2, but it doesn't create a new SKU, but it manages to share all the content from the original game, that so allows people to, all right, well, you still have to buy the DLC in order for it to unlock there. It's like the same game, just two different versions, same SKU. If they manage to pull that off, and then they rope Sakurai back in, and yeah, they're like, we're gonna make a Fighters Pass 3. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think anyone's gonna fucking complain about that. Yeah, I think that's what most of us want, because like, I think unless Sakurai thinks up some really like innovative, creative thing that he needs to add to the game to spice it up, to challenge himself as a developer or something, like, I don't think he even needs to do that, man, because the challenge comes in itself of just him thinking of new ways to implement these characters, right? Like, every character that came out, every subsequent character was like crazier than the last, of just like, what cool ways, how do we like put so much love into a character, you know?
Which is why I say it's different when a Smash character gets announced. It's different than Fortnite, because I'm like, Fortnite is basically putting, you know, Yoda on a can of Pepsi, you know? It's not, you know, it's just a character. It's a character rig, and they follow the same rig model, and they do the same shit. Maybe they get a unique dance for them. Maybe you get one unique dance. That's it.
I like that. I want some Yoda Pepsi.
No,
bubbly I am.
Forgot about this. Fuck. I forgot. I forgot something about the Ether channel. The Ether channel shit on the MU fucking fries it. Like, it doesn't like whatever assets in there. Whatever the soul, it doesn't like the soul sucking asset.
Is it just toast now?
It is. It's something about the unique animation of Ether pulling, something about it, something about the asset. is like bugged.
You know, I think I will say, I mean, this is probably thinking too early, but I mean, because we don't even know if it's actually going to happen. But I do think, man, can you imagine how fun it will be? Like, just even thinking about the prospect of actually having like a Fighter Pass 3. Then we think about like, fuck, dude, then who's going to be in it, you know?
Yeah, third party or first party, and that's fun.
Yeah. Oh, what a time to be alive that was, man. Like, that was such a, like, that's just the golden era. Like, it was almost more fun even thinking about it than necessarily even seeing who it was, you know? Unless it was like, you know, your dream come true, like, you know, Banjo was in there.
I actually want Matthew. I don't want Noah. Fuck Noah. Noah's boring.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
I'd much rather have Matthew as a fisticuffs character in there.
Oh, me too, dude. I want him to fucking, his ultimate to open up a massive can of beans, and he just fucking like
full of beans.
Full of beans. Just throws on the enemy. Yeah, it probably would be Noah, but yeah, I would absolutely Matthew all the way. I agree. Matthew's so much more of an interesting character.
No, so and part of me wonders, I'm like, I think Sakurai would know that, yeah, anime swordsman, but anime fisticuffs, man.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'll have to see, because I have to actually.
I mean, I'll be honest. I'd also be down with Chad Daddy Rex, but I don't. He probably wouldn't do that because Pyramithra in the game, and it's like the same weapons. So
yeah, pretty much.
It'd be too same.
Is life? How do I? What's the thing I do to turn? How do I turn off? Oh, here it is. It's in properties. So yeah. So
what other IPs do you think need to show up in Smash Brothers? So like, which ones haven't been touched yet? Like, what dream characters?
There's been characters. It would be nice if some characters graduated from costume to real boy.
Yeah. Dante.
Yeah, like Dante, Doomslayer. They'd be fun ones, you know, to graduate. Honestly, here's a weird one. I think it would be nice if Sony could get off their fucking high horse and allow Kratos, you know, or Astrobot in there. I think Astrobot or Kratos would be like a really fun addition, or even Aloy. Fuck, they had Lego Horizons on Switch. I'm like, if they threw Aloy in there, I was like, this is great. And then, you know, we have everyone now. Like, we truly got over this fucking weird hump, you know.
I would be genuinely shocked. I think, Master Chief, absolutely. He could, I'm sure Xbox, at this point, Xbox doesn't give a fuck anymore, dude. They're like, take this bitch. I don't give a fuck. They don't care about Master Chief. Sakurai could just fucking put him in there and without even asking, and Xbox would be like, that's fine. Like, they don't care. But Sony stuff, I don't know, man. That'd be cool. That would be amazing. Actually, now I think about it, I think Master Chief would almost certainly be one of them. He definitely feels like one that would.
Well, actually, more than Master Chief, I think Crash would show up since he's Microsoft now too.
Oh yeah, fucking weird universe we're in now.
Yeah, I think Crash for Smash would likely happen. I think Spyro would be a trophy, an assist trophy.
Dude, that shit was like, when I was a kid playing Smash 64, I had like two dream characters in my head, just like imagining this shit of like, dude, what if Cloud was in this game? And what if Crash Bandicoot was in this game? Because I was so into both like Crash and Final Fantasy 7. I was like, so if, like, to imagine that shit in there, fuck, I would not gonna lie, I'd be really hyped about it.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, it's way more likely with being owned by Microsoft than Activision.
Yeah, it definitely is. Any big ones for you personally that you like outside of the realm of like how likely it is? Like, what would you like, and outside of like Matt, like what would you do? Oh fuck yeah, it would just pop off.
At this point, I mean, Chrono would be pretty incredible.
Ooh, that's a good pick.
Like, Chrono would be like, holy shit, are we for real?
Holy dumb fuck. Oh, that'd be really fucking cool. Yeah. You have like, you could get like dual text and triple text or something. Like, you like call his friends up.
Yeah, like his ultimate would be like a triple text.
Yeah. Maybe it's like a random triple tech or something of like depending on like situation, like you would get like Robo and Luca, and there sounds like Ayla and Frog or something. And, oh, that'd be really cool. Where would they fight? Where would that? What would they? What would the stage be?
You'd either be possibly the end of time. I think the big ones are end of times on board the epoch itself, as it's flying through time, as it's going from era to era.
Oh yeah. That's a good one.
That on the epoch, the end of time, or Age of Antiquity would probably be the most likely. But they have so many stages that kind of already feel like they do Age of Antiquity without being that. So I'm like, flying on the epoch through different eras to me seems like the most thing where like the background is the same, but you see it like change and evolve over time. So.
Yeah, I can almost see it being sort of like the level. I can't remember which one it was, where you're like on a platform and it moves you different places. Where like the epoch goes to different eras and lands in different eras, and the level is like different, and then you gotta hop back on the epoch and fly to the next one.
Yeah. Yep. Someone was right in chat. Where were you? Oh man, I don't see his name anymore. But it was like, yeah, 60 frames breaks the ether thing. I'm like, yes, there you go. It worked.
Hey.
Correct. The 60 frames actually breaks harvesting ether. That's what I tell people. They're like, why isn't there 60 frames? I'm like, because it fucking breaks the game. Like, it just doesn't function with it. Thank you, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's not a simple toggle. People
Games run on certain logic. If you change that logic, it's gonna fuck it up.
Lara Croft, I could see Embracer really wanting Lara Croft to be in Smash Brothers.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool though. I think actually it would be kind of neat. I'm actually been going through the because I got it on sale at the Steam thing, and just for fun on the side, I've been going through the remaster collection, which is like, it's basically just the PS1 games. Like you can actually like hit a button and it turns it to the old graphics like on a immediately. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's the same like mega tanky, janky games, and I'm sort of used to them because I played like the first game quite a bit. So, but like there was something about those games that like that first game in particular had like barely any music, but it was really good about playing music in like certain moments and stuff where it was like it really gave this feeling of like, instead of feeling like this over the top kind of Uncharted, you know, level of like, whoa, this is crazy, that was close, you know, like it's very much like a kind of like thoughtful, very focused, like I'm out here on my own in this weird place and it's all quiet and all I can hear is like the sound of ambience and shit, and then fucking wolves come out and the music goes dun, 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 and I'm just like, oh shit, like it could be almost like horror aspects in that way. I don't know, I kind of dug the vibe.
I'm curious to see how that remake, the second remake, goes.
Yeah, me too.
I think this is, I mean this sounds mean, but I'm like, if this remake and this sequel reboot don't fucking hit, like I don't know if this character comes back from that. Like
probably not.
This year, next year, like these two gotta fucking hit, man, because that's it if it don't. So,
like, does Crystal Dynamics even do anything outside of Tomb Raider at this point? Like,
lay off people. Get laid.
Fuck.
They were making Perfect Dark and
oh fuck, they were.
And and then they even tried to negotiate selling it to 2K, but you know, fucking Microsoft was like, nah, no.
Like we're out of money. We can't buy anything.
Well, nobody said why, and it's all from kind of like, I'm gonna tell you right now.
Okay.
Project got canceled or got internally reviewed, and then, well, part of the big fucking crackdown of you need to be 30% profitable, which I actually do think is happening. They said this project is a time drain. It's been gestating way too long. It's just draining money. It's between Crystal Dynamics in San Francisco and like the Initiative in Santa Monica, the two most expensive cities in the fucking country, you know, to employ people, and they've taken games should have been done and dusted by now, and it's only now coming together. Someone at the top above, you know, way up there, like an Amy Hood or a Satya Nadella, came in and said, fucking, you need to make some big choices. You need to start cutting some things that are not immediately going to be bringing us profit. And Perfect Dark was only just coming together, so like, kill the project. Phil probably didn't want didn't want like that sort of like that to be a, you know, okay, here we go again. So he successfully got Krafton to buy Tango. He's like, we got that. We sold off Tango. We sold off Hi-Fi Rush. So he probably he negotiated with 2K, and then 2K was interested. 2K's like, sure, well, yeah, let's we'll publish Perfect Dark. It's got legacy. These are known studios. Sure, we'll buy it. But what probably happened is that 2K was like, if we fund this game, we take over. We want to do exactly what you did for Tango. We're gonna buy the studio. We're gonna buy Initiative, and we're gonna buy the IP. We're buying both. We're buying the studio and which is exactly what happened to Hi-Fi Rush and Tango. And then Microsoft went, no, we don't want you to own the Perfect Dark IP. We still see value in it. Which is the frustrating part, because it's like the franchise has been dead for fucking 20 years.
Yeah.
And it's like they finally were going to do it. Now they want to cancel the thing they finally did for 20 years, and they're like, no, we might do something in the future. In the future, you are canceling your 20 years old reboot, your 20 years later reboot. You're not going to do shit with it in the future, and you fucking know it. But like someone higher up Microsoft was like, no, we're not selling the IP. We won't sell the full IP. You can fund this game to completion like Bayonetta 2 and 3, like what Nintendo did, but you're not getting the IP, because I think 2K was like, well, we want the IP in the same deal that Tango got for Hi-Fi Rush, and Microsoft was like, no, you're going to Bayo 2 or 3 this. You're not going to own the IP. You're just going to fund this project yourself. So
yeah. Yeah, you're probably right. That definitely seems like something Microsoft would do, where it's so stupid, because these companies are so like, we must hold our old ancient IP that we're not doing anything with, because at some point we might do something with it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, you were gonna do something with it, but you're canceling it because you realize that you don't want to do something with it. So why are you still holding on to it? Like,
yeah, it's like taking my
yeah, it's like they rather IP fucking dead than have anyone else own it.
Right.
Like, I'd rather we kept it and it just stays dead forever than it ever like actually form into anything with somebody else.
So yeah, that's like the sad fate of Perfect Dark's just Perfect Dark, I guess.
Yeah. It looked pretty cool. I do wonder how much of what we saw was not even real gameplay, though, you know?
Yeah, someone broke it down. He's like, okay, so what you saw was technically real. He's like, there's a lot of smoke and mirrors. He was like, yeah, like, so he broke down that like that gameplay trailer. He's like, so this functioned more or less. There was definitely camera trickery to like hide like problems, you know, in the trailer, but they're like, you could do it. You could do that level if you followed the script exactly to a T. If you deviated at all, like the game would just crash. Like, it was like we had the game basically barely able to do what we showed in the trailer, but that level was coming along, and by the time it got canceled, they were like, we had fleshed out that whole first level that they showed in that gameplay trailer, and they're like, well, we finally basically found our hook, and we found like the loop that this is good, this is in a good place now, and then they're like, kill it.
Damn. It looked cool, because I was actually like, I thought the trailer they did for it was pretty neat. Like the idea and the concepts they threw out there, where I'm like, this looks pretty good. At least I thought so.
Yeah, and then they were saying like, yeah, it only just came together when they decided to cancel it, but they're like, yeah, like, but it took them like what 5+ years to get to that vertical slice, and it was like,
yeah, it's like, I do sort of see why it got canned in that way, that it took them that long, and they're still not even like seemingly close to actually getting to well, we found our hook, but you still have to make, you know, the rest of the game now.
Now make the rest of the whole fucking thing. So yeah, so that's just. Well, the other thing too is that Microsoft has like people have gone back and forth, because I forget who was saying that like this isn't real, and then someone from Microsoft was like, oh no, we don't have a 30% profit mandate, and Schreier was like, you absolutely do. And I'm like, I am actually on Schreier's side on this. I mean, if you're still employed by Microsoft and under NDA, I don't see why you would ever speak against them. But yeah, like, because if you look at the breakdown, the yearly, like their fucking public, thing, every division of Microsoft is roughly making 30% profit, except Xbox, which makes 1%. It goes from it basically straddles the line between 0 and 1% profit. And yeah, the rumor, quote unquote, is that Microsoft basically told them, all right, it's been long enough, you need to get to 30% profit. The Xbox game division has to be 30% profitable. Now let me tell you something about this. Here's what a lot of people don't know. That is almost unheard of in video games. Like,
Right.
ever. For a full calendar year, for a company to bring in, when you're operating at the scale of Microsoft first party, in particular, you're not making
too many
30%.
games. You can't. That seems unfeasible.
It pretty much is. Sony, for example, on an average good year, it makes about 12% profit.
Yeah.
Like they're somewhere, 12%, 10, maybe 15% profit on a good year. Sony, the PlayStation side of a brand of Sony, maybe makes 10 to 12% profit a year. There was a year where Nintendo actually beat that 30%. I know that actually they beat it. 2020 and 2021, Nintendo, I think, was above 30%. They're at, like, I think fiscal 21, they were like 41% profit. Because the Switch,
that's crazy.
Dude, that was everyone was locked up and they all bought Switches in Animal Crossing.
Oh yeah. That's the COVID numbers.
But like nowadays, like no Switch, like that was for two years of COVID. Nintendo beat it, and then like even in really good years for Nintendo, they're at like 20-25%. And that's Nintendo. The company notoriously doesn't spend money on anything. So Nintendo, who does, generally speaking, does the best, they don't come close. They don't even really come that close to 30. They're like, 18 on a lower year, 20, 22 on a good year.
So what's even the plan for that for Xbox? Like, how would they even get close to a number like that?
I don't know. The thing is just like gut everything, raise Xbox Game Pass prices, hope you retain enough subscribers, and just basically just get rid of as much personal employees as you can.
It's so morbid. It's so stupid. It's like, well, if there's only 2 games that we make and they just do like really fucking good, it's like, I don't know.
I think it's like something like that where it's like, all right, we'll just have COD carry us or whatever, or have Candy Crush carry us.
Yeah. COD ain't doing shit right now for them. Fuck me.
Which I'm pretty sure was a big panic, because actually, even before this year's COD shit the bed, they apparently was like this huge, like, things really started getting bad because Blop 6 really didn't move the needle on Game Pass. And I'm like, that is an incredible misreading of your audience there, because there was a huge argument internally about whether or not Blop 6, the newest COD, should go on Game Pass the first year, that they owned it. And I am very much in the camp of, no, you absolutely should not have put COD on the newest COD on Game Pass. You should have put the old CODs on Game Pass. But the reason is they were under the assumption that, okay, if we put the brand new Call of Duty on Game Pass, everyone's going to subscribe to Game Pass. What a deal, right? And I'm like, you fundamentally don't understand the COD audience. They buy COD and nothing else. Maybe Madden. Like, you don't understand. Like, the majority of COD players just play COD. That's fucking it. They are going to look at Game Pass and be like, why do I want to subscribe to Netflix of gaming? I watch one thing, It's like, don't you want to subscribe to you should subscribe to Netflix so you can watch Wallace and Gromit. I'm like, I'm not going to subscribe to Netflix to watch one movie,
Right.
So they're not going
Yeah.
to subscribe to Game Pass for one game because COD is that sort of phenomenon where it's like, yeah, people who play this and nothing else. Maybe one other game. It's actually a waste of money for them to subscribe to Game Pass. So that actually that was actually, from what I understand, a very bad thing. And at the end of this year, it was like, all right, no more fucking around. Like you need to start making money and you need to start gutting shit. Don't care. However you can. So like the party was officially over, honestly, a couple of years ago, because there was a moment where people don't know this, but this was like a couple of years ago. There was a moment where Microsoft like just basically gutted a lot of stuff internally that never really got out, and it was just like they were already cleaning house, and like the Hail Mary was Blop 6, and they threw it into the stands. So. Yeah, now it's just kind of like, well, this is fucking it, because, and from what I understand as well, like 8 years ago, when Satya Nadella took over Microsoft, he wanted to get rid of Xbox. He wanted to get rid of Xbox a long time ago. And Game Pass was the only way they kept the Game Pass was the only way Phil could convince them to keep the entire Xbox gaming division. By basically telling them, well, what if we get them on a subscription model? Because that's what these, like, you know, these fucking like money hungry CEOs understand.
Right.
So
right.
they're like,
keep them on a monthly payment. Like that's the shit. Like, oh yeah, subscription models. I love it. Like,
yeah,
it's just money every month, more and more, consistent.
We can follow these.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how they like kept Xbox even going, like for the past 8-9 years was on the promise of that bullshit. But yeah, I don't know. I honestly, I think it's a matter of time before Microsoft just like basically fucks off. Like,
Yeah, I kind of do feel it's going that way too. Like, I feel like Xbox is just gonna be, they're gonna become Sega.
yeah, and they already kind of. I think that's sort of like we're trying to like gracefully find our way out of this thing by just sort of like, all right, well, go third party. You know, just the other thing too is that
it's already starting with, like, you know, we're seeing Master Chief now show up on PS5. You know?
Yeah.
I think they're. I feel like that's like the test to see, like, well, how well does this perform? And it's like, oh shit, is this making us way more money than actually like trying to like. I mean, to be fair, for the most part, the exclusivity with Xbox has already been sort of a fallacy because everything has been generally also on PC.
Yeah.
Like the only real reason to even have an Xbox is just like I don't want to buy a big, heavy, massive PC or something. You know, I don't want to have to deal with that.
But the other thing, one thing people don't really know about or don't think about as much is, Sony's not in a great position either. Like, and they are putting a lot of their stuff on PC, and have been putting their stuff on PC. Now, PC sales kind of slowed down for Sony a bit after the initial, oh shit, PlayStation on PC, let's go. But the other problem is that, like, I don't know if you noticed, PlayStation first-party games tend to cost a fuck ton of money. Like, a really, really large fuck ton of money. Sony can't...
To make, you mean, right?
Yeah, to make. Sony can't really afford their own first-party games to be first-party either. Like, even with sales on PC slowing down, you bet your ass Intergalactic and Wolverine are going to show up on PC.
Yeah.
As well. Like,
at some point. I think it is, like, I think we're watching the slow death of exclusivity, with basically Nintendo being the last, like,
the last
one that's gonna hold out. Yeah.
And they're gonna do it, and they're gonna hold out as long as they can. And I'm not really a fan of exclusivity. I mean, I have said over and over, I'm like, the biggest detriment to Xenoblade's success right now is not putting these on PC. Like,
right,
they should be on PC. I wish these games were on PC so bad. And I wouldn't, at this point, I'd be willing to even compromise and be like, okay, well, what if you have to get a Nintendo launcher? You know, specifically Nintendo. I mean, fine, just have it on PC.
They absolutely would, too.
Yeah,
Nintendo will
that
never
is like
play
almost
nice guaranteed.
Yeah. Nintendo will fall. I do think they'll fall. I think it's going to take like another 10 to 15 years before Nintendo actually falls to PC, but I think it does happen because Nintendo is going to stem the tide, as you know, hold the door as long as they can. You know, we'll try to make games as cheaply as possible still, and still try to like make the profit from a single system ecosystem work for us. And I think they'll be able to hold it out for at least another decade or so. But there's going to come a point where even Nintendo can't afford it. Not soon, but it'll happen. And eventually their shit will be on PC too. Because I mean, the other thing too is that like Switch 2 is just Switch 2 will just not sell as much as Switch 1. It just won't. It won't. It can't. It won't happen, and games will not sell overall as well on Switch 2 as they did on Switch 1. It just won't. You won't have that phenomenon. You won't have COVID. And eventually, like, here's the big brain think way off in the future. What does Nintendo do after the Switch 2? Like, for as far as like, how do you manufacture and sell a new system? What the fuck does Nintendo do after that? Because portable game playing PCs are already here and getting better and getting more and more advanced. I'm like, now I'm not saying they're a threat to Nintendo, but I'm just saying like the uniqueness of a Switch is compromised because you have Steam Decks and ROG allies and yada yada, and they're just going to slowly accrue and build up, and eventually, like, again, the greatest threat to everyone is your Steam library, which plays on everything. So eventually Nintendo's going to have this thing where it's like, we're the only ones who sell our things on our Switch, but like, you know, how many people are going to be like, I had a Switch 1, I had a Switch 2, do I want a Switch 3 where it's just another hybrid console, or are you going to be like, you know what, I'm fucking good?
Yeah, I would imagine that if they were to, whatever comes after a Switch 2 would have to be like, we have to think outside the box. We have to come up with a new gimmick, basically. Like, what is our new like gimmick that would make sense? And to be fair, the Switch gimmick it did end up being pretty smart because it was essentially them just taking like, we're gonna take our mobile gaming and our console gaming and put it into one. And it's like, that's actually that was a pretty smart idea. You know, that ended up working out pretty well for them. So they'd have to do something like that, but it sort of, I sort of agree that from that point, from that like okay, now that you've established yourself as a person, like you now make these hybrid consoles that can be both. It's almost like, do you make one that gets rid of it? How do you build on top of that? How do you even take that to another level? Does it like, are we getting into VR? Is like Switch gonna have like that's, you know, outside of a, you know, a cardboard box on your head, you know? That's actually like,
well, I think VR is dead personally.
Yeah, I do too. I don't know if that's really like the future is ever really gonna get to the point where VR
did exactly what I said it would do, and the faithful didn't want to listen to me, but you know, I was right. It's too cumbersome. It's too inconvenient. It's too expensive. It's not going to take out, and it doesn't really add anything to games that are not in a first-person point of view. So VR did not make it.
I'd say the closest thing that VR will happen is going to be like the augmented reality stuff of like screens on your glasses, basically. Like, I still think that has definitely a potential, you know, because I've seen shit of like the new stuff that's been put out for like the glasses technology, where people are like literally seeing full game screens through their glasses, like they're on a fucking subway, and like I'm like, I definitely see that potentially being a very like big thing, and which is really, which I almost feel like also kind of probably sad, because we're always looking at our phone screens and stuff, but then there's getting to the point where we're like, bro, we're all gonna be like all just like in our own little worlds. You know, all the time, and you'll never know at any moment that someone's like taking a picture of you or doing some shit too. It's like the true death of like any privacy too out in public.
Right,
it's like, people are gonna be like, it's like that shit. I don't even know how you fucking stop people from like doing that once you introduce technology like that.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Like, but I think the other thing though is even with AR and like glasses, like simple glasses, you solve the convenience problem. But how do you solve the fact that like playing a VR game in third person doesn't really add much?
Yeah. Yeah. Is it that much better than just looking at your phone screen?
Right. Like I'm just thinking like from a gameplay perspective, where it's like, you know, how much, you know, it, like VR gaming in general. I'm like, how many VR games is like, oh, does a Final Fantasy Tactics game, does VR add anything to it? Does, you know, Astrobot was pretty fun and pretty cool, but it's like, you know, even when you do like RE4, it's like we have to make it first person, so it fundamentally changes how the game is like played and viewed. So it's like all the non first person experiences are, I don't know, kind of compromised in VR a bit.
Yeah, it's like how you're like, what can we do in VR that can't just be done with a regular controller, and what actually makes it feel special?
Yeah.
Other than just the novelty of feeling like you're sort of there, but
yeah,
you know, not. I mean, it's still just a big screen on your face, so that's also very heavy and gives people neck problems. You know, put so much shit in there. Yeah, I don't know. I think the way I see it is, yeah, like you said, I think VR will be dead, but even with AR, I think people will do it because it's gonna let people like essentially do things in secret. Essentially, like you could be like talking to someone and like pretending to pay, like you're paying attention, but you're really playing a fucking game on your glasses. You know, like I could see people doing that, like absolutely. Like, just where, like, oh, I can, like, and it's gonna make people even more ADHD than we already are. Like, we're all just gonna be like doing like 10 different things at once, talking to somebody, fucking like doing our fucking like taxes and shit, like on our fucking glasses.
Yeah,
and, like,
right.
Like that, and that. Oh man, I don't know that. Then we're really starting to turn into like Minority Report.
Right.
Fucking walking around, getting my eye scanned, getting like new like catered advertisements as I'm walking down the street.
Glad that's over with. We got him good.
Yeah, there's so much danger. People are gonna walk into traffic and walk off cliffs so much, or walk off buildings.
Exactly. I'm just gonna laugh and laugh and laugh. I feel like we're gonna walk. You'll be like on the side, or you're gonna watch some dude just walk into traffic, and he's like, he's fucking talking to somebody or on his eyes right now, isn't he? Oh, there he goes.
Yeah, apparently that actually happened. Someone actually died playing Pokemon Go.
Really?
Yeah, he went off a cliff.
Probably shouldn't laugh, but that is kind of funny.
I mean, yeah, it's terrible, but it's also like, God damn it, Darwin, dude.
Yeah, right.
You were so concerned with being getting over to catching this Pokemon, like you were on a hiking trail on a cliff and you ran off it to get your Lapras or whatever the fuck. I don't know what it was.
Did he catch the Did he catch the Pokemon on the way down? I like to think he did.
Yeah, Darwin Award right there, whatever. Darwin Award winner. Yeah, it's super weird to me that Nintendo's like, hey, let's bring the Virtual Boy back out on the Switch and the Switch 2. I'm like, this was made for the 3DS. Why didn't you put it on the 3DS?
I know, right? Like, and it's funny, I had already forgotten that happened. I was like, oh yeah, that happened. That's right.
And it never. Well, it's not out yet, but.
Oh, it isn't? Oh, I thought it did come out.
No, it's not out yet. It's like March or some shit. And it's like $25 for the cardboard headset and like $100 for the plastic recreation prop.
It's so funny to me because like that thing wasn't that thing a commercial failure anyway?
Oh, big
like,
time, big time.
So like, man, this is like nobody. Who's the only people who are gonna buy it are people who have massive nostalgia and or just morbidly curious, but like, I can't see anybody below the age of 30 buying one of those.
Nobody asked for this. No one.
Yeah, like, and all the games are painful to look at and play, even like on a screen, like as their color palette. It's just like, god damn, black and red, bright ass fucking red.
Oh,
you know, like my eyes.
the ultimate unk prop.
It really is. Really is.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's cute, but then they're like, it's $100 for it. I'm like, no, oh, who cares?
Yeah, like, fucking hell, man. Just give me the cardboard again.
Yeah, but then they're charging $25 for the cardboard. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I just put a fucking Amazon box in my face in that case. If that's really, it was like, fuck.
Best guy Jack Bros. Gives a shit. Yeah, just emulate the damn thing.
Yeah, I can see probably streamers doing it just for the you know, content gimmick of it, but like no one's gonna do that. No, I feel like no one's gonna, even if you get it, you're not seriously gonna play it. Like,
I don't think
you're gonna play it once.
I don't think you can stream it because the way it hooks up to shit, you have to do it like undocked.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe you have to play it basically in portable mode, period.
Oh, that's right, because yeah, you're sticking your Switch screen in there.
Yeah.
Specifically. Yeah.
Unless they thought about that and had a pass through or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Can you even play? Can you play the Virtual Boy games without the added thing, or can you can I just like? Does that include with like my NSO?
I don't think so. No. No.
That is fucking crazy.
I don't believe so. No, because it has to, whatever thing you hook it into, it has to like basically split the image 2 ways. Because the cardboard thing, what the funny thing is, you're literally looking at the screen of your Switch. Like what the VV thing is doing is it's gonna like put the image, you know, like left eye, right eye, and you're just gonna be looking at the screen, and it's just putting a little lens in front of the screen, and you're literally just you're doing this. You're just cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Time flies when you're having
I doubt it's gonna have any kind of eye tracking or anything either. So it's
oh
probably
god,
gonna make you mega sick.
No eye tracking at all. It's just, you know, you'll have the manual tracking, and it's just the most. Who the fuck is this for? It's like,
I feel like shouldn't they be able to just like overlay like the left and the right and make like a playable version that you could just play on a screen without that? Because then like I would at least find value in that. Because to me it's like, okay, I don't need to play it the old jank way. I can actually play these games.
Yeah.
Like maybe you have some nostalgia for it, and now you can finally play it and not get a migraine. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. I mean, that'd be a good way to play Wario Land and Mario Clash and some others, but yeah. Oh man, I don't know, maybe. But as far as I'm aware, I thought I could. Correct me, someone can correct me if I'm wrong here, but I'm pretty sure it was like accessory required to play the Virtual Boy games. Either the cheap one or the expensive one.
Did you have any friends that actually had one of those?
Yep.
Really?
I have a friend who, in his will, he wrote me to receive his Virtual Boy in all the North American release games.
Wow, good for him. Did you guys try it?
Yeah, I mean, I've played it. I don't get headaches from it, but I'm just kind of like, there's something weird about the way that thing starts to smell after a while.
It starts to smell like,
it does.
Like from like the oil from
from people's foreheads, because it's pressing against like, you know, just around the rim of your eyebrow and around like, you know, the bridge of your nose and shit. So like eventually the thing starts to reek, like the plastic and the like the foam and the plastic or whatever, and then that, and it starts to gain a musk, a Virtual Boy musk.
Ew. Yeah, that's always been the problem too. Of even like VR headsets are that way too, because like it's just like, yeah, man. I mean, we're unfortunately, I hate to say it, but we're constantly seeping shit out of our like pores and our faces and shit at all times, all the time. Even if you wash your face, that shit's gonna come right back. And it's like, and if you got something pressed against your face, it's gonna get covered on it, and then it's gonna build up over time, and eventually it's gonna start smelling a little raunchy.
Yeah, it's rough. It's some rough times.
Are any of the games actually good though? Were like any decent games?
Mario Clash is pretty fun in a sort of like very, very classic kind of old school, really old school gaming kind of way.
Yeah.
Because it's technically single screen, so the screen doesn't scroll or move, and that's nice. It's just like and there's a bunch of different. Mario Clash is kind of like it does for Mario Bros. What Donkey Kong 94 did for Donkey Kong. Like, you know which one I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like in Mario Clash, it's like 100 or some crazy. It's like 100 levels of like just these single screen kind of like puzzle platformer levels. So Mario Clash is actually pretty fun. And Wario Land's really good. It's a unique Wario Land game, only for the Virtual Boy. There's a really weird first-person survival horror game that only came out in Japan. I heard Jack Bros is okay. Like, it's like a pretty decent puzzle game with all the Shin Megami mascots.
Oh, that actually, I didn't know that. That was, so it's like Jack Frost?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Yeah,
I didn't know Atlas.
It's Jack Frost, some pumpkin guy, and someone else. Like a
That's,
zombie
yeah,
looking-
Pyro Jack, or
Yeah.
he's Pyro Jack, and then there's another name for him. I think it's different in Japanese, but yeah, funny. How many games? There's like 20 games, right? For like
Yeah, some about around there. Yeah.
Let's make a note of
We ought to speak to
Tellero Box is actually pretty fun if you have like the shoulder buttons for it, and I guess if you have like a good controller with L triggers, L and right trigger. Tellero Box is pretty fun. Pretty fun. Red Alarm when you can see it's not bad either.
Let's have it then.
Did your friend like have all the games for it?
Yeah, he went to a Blockbuster when they were like, "All right, we're gonna get rid of it." They put it up for sale, so he just went in there and just bought the rental unit and all the games for like $30 or something.
Wow, that's pretty good deal.
Yeah,
I mean,
dude,
he
bought a full box copy with instructions of Clay Fighter Sculptor's Cut. Which apparently I was like, "You still have that?" He's like, "No, I sold it. That's how I paid off my college loan."
Oh wow! Wow, wait, how much did he sell it for?
He got like a couple thousand, I think. But yeah, like he's like, "Yeah, that's how I finished paying off my college debt." Was I finally caved and sold a full because he had the box and instructions, which most Blockbusters didn't have. So hold on, let me look this up. Actually, is
Clay Fighters even that good?
No.
Is it just the gimmick of it? It's just rare, right? That version of it.
That version because it was a Blockbuster exclusive. So if you were somehow able to get the box and instructions, you would be a god. Let's see, right now. Complete $6,000.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Wow.
The box.
Wow.
The box alone is worth $3,200. The manual alone is worth $1,800.
Jeez. Wow. They must have made like a couple hundred of them or something. I guess probably like one per store.
It was just because Blockbuster, as a rental exclusive, they usually would just throw away the box instructions, put it in the little Blockbuster clamshell.
Yeah.
So that's why it's so hard to get a complete box copy of Sculptor's Cut, because you had to buy it off a Blockbuster and hope to God they kept the box and instructions, where they weren't.
Was even the difference between that version and the regular one?
It's like the Super Street Fighter 2 version of 63 1/3. Like some added extra characters, extra stages. $6,000, did I hear that right? You sure did.
Simmons, what's the rarest game that you own? Like probably like the most get like the most value.
I don't know. What does an Ocarina of Time go for? Not much. Alright, complete. That's not worth very much. I wish it was new. New, over $1,200. God damn.
I think the rarest thing that I have is probably the Misadventures of Trombone.
Yeah.
Like, an actual physical copy of that. 'Cause that, like, they really, like, I didn't realize how later. Like, I had no idea. Like, I was a Legends 1 fan, and I was a huge fucking Legends 1 fan. Loved it. I came across this game. I had no idea it existed. I just came across it randomly one day at a Radio Shack at the mall. And
Tronbon?
I just saw. I went, what the fuck? And like, looked at my mom, like, Mom, look at this. And she's like, what's that? I'm like, I don't know. It says, and it came with a demo for Legends 2, and I'm like, I didn't even know this existed. Like, I didn't know that there was another. They like made another game. Like, they made so few of it. Like, there's like no advertising for it either. So, like, I just happened across it, and like, granted, it's not in the best condition, so I probably wouldn't really sell for it that much. But it's probably the rarest thing that I own.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'd have to like actually go through and look, but I think like
Was your Shining Force 3 copy sell for a lot?
it's only worth like $350. Same with most of my Saturn games are around $350. I know I have some rare shit. I did. I don't know if I really. I don't know. Yeah.
Xenosaga 3. Nah, man, that was.
Well, I don't own that. That's Chris's, and anytime he wants it back, he can request it back if he needs to sell it or anything. That's Chris's, and it's only $215 complete, so I'm like,
Is any of your old like would your like copy of Tiny Toons for like the SNES or something be like worth anything?
Actually, I don't know. I bought it was not too long ago. Let me see. If I got it graded, it could be worth money, but at most I could get maybe $500 for it. Because I don't think it's opened. Pretty sure I have. Oh no, wait. I know what I have. I know what I have that's worth money. Oh yeah, Shantae. I have a box copy of Shantae. It's worth $2,000.
Oh shit! The original game, like unopened?
Mm-hmm. No, not Bro, if it was unopened, actually, why is new? Well, if it was unopened, it'd be worth $6,000.
Damn. Wow, even unopened or open for 2,000. That's fucking. Damn, was that game that rare?
Yes. It was rare, and the thing was, like, I knew the developers, and they just gave me a copy, like, right before it came out. So I have a complete box copy of the original Shantae.
Badass. That's cool.
Yeah, that's probably the rarest thing I have, actually. I guess now that I look at it. Yeah.
Neat.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I'm like, oh yeah, that is probably.
It's a good story too. The fact you got it like direct from the devs too.
Yeah.
Did they sign it or anything?
No, I didn't even think about that at the time. I could go get it signed, I guess, if I wanted. I have a.
Yeah, actually, then I think you get raise that market value.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it would. Ghost Babel is $356 complete. I have that. That's
you have
cool.
a copy of Ghost Babel?
Yeah, I do.
Is that game good?
Very good. Extremely good. Like, this is like the best fucking like Game Boy Color game you'll ever play. Kind of good.
Damn.
Like it is a full-on, full-ass Metal Gear Solid game. It's 8-bit, so like, but like it's like it's an 8-bit Metal Gear Solid with a completely unique story that takes some of that has like all the years of experience post Metal Gear Solid 2 put into it, or at least 1. Metal Gear Solid 1.
Wow. Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, it probably 1. I don't think. Unless it gets really late, I don't think it'd be after 2. But damn, that's cool. I didn't know that. I don't think it's ever been re-released on anything.
No, I'm actually hoping they put that on the fucking NSO here. Like that would be such a good.
That'd be nice.
That'd be such a good thing to put here because like they're not selling it. Konami's not going to put it in any collection probably. Like, put it on the NSO. Put Twin Snakes on the NSO. Fuck it. I don't know. Shit.
I think to be honest, I have a feeling Twin Sticks will show up on like the Volume 2 collection because like what do you put in there?
It could only show up on the Switch Volume 2 collection though.
Really?
Yeah, because they have, dude. There's pictures of Miyamoto in the game, like, and there's a Mario and a Yoshi that you can shoot and hear one-up sound effects.
I didn't
There's a
even know that.
GameCube in the game. Like, Psycho Mantis talks about like Nintendo games when he reads your memory card. Like, yeah, it ain't showing up on. It ain't showing up on anything else.
I didn't particularly love that version of the game, so I didn't really play a lot of it. But I actually did not know that it had actually Nintendo shit in there.
Yeah, that's a picture of Miyamoto himself laughing in the game.
He's one of the guards you kill. Miyamoto-san.
Yeah, it's that's not that game is only going to show up on NSO if it does, unless they do like some weird Nintendo only version. I don't know.
Yeah, they'd have to go in there and cut all that shit out. That would be way too much effort.
Yeah. I mean, if it was like just the one thing, I could see, yeah, you take the GameCube out, take the GameCube screen off the computer, remove the Mario and Yoshi dolls and stuff. But then it's like, and then there's like this whole cutscene with, I mean, you could replace the texture, you could do it, but I'm like, now you're just starting to like, okay, how much work is this really worth? Right. For a game that, you know, most people don't really enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's just like the boomer in me, man, but I really do like prefer the original over it. It's like, I mean, a large part is the music. The music for that version just sucks. Like, at least
and like the best tracks are like fucking hidden in places you would never hear it, or it takes so long to get to the like the really cool part. Like again, you wouldn't hear it. Like, it's so bizarre. Like the guy Steve Hennepin was his name. Like the Silicon Knights guy who did the music. I'm like, man, I don't know if you realize you were making video game music. Like, not a fucking track for your like house techno album. Like,
why do you like it so much?
It's just easier to play. Like
yeah,
I miss like it's been a long time, but like, man, I like going back. I was like, I still love the first game a lot. But I started missing first-person aiming and just jumping over the rails, like, you know, flipping over. I started like, oh man, I actually miss this shit.
It makes the game piss easy though too. Like the game is like not designed for it.
It's not balanced at all.
Yeah,
but
it's just like, let's just take the Metal Gear 1 and put it in the MGS2 engine. And it's just like, all right, and everything else is the same. So you're just like, all right, well, I'm just gonna fucking absolutely demolish this game. Like everything was designed that you couldn't look in first person. So,
but there's also the other thing though. By that point, I could sleepwalk through the original Metal Gear Solid, so it was like I guess it didn't really. I mean, yeah, it was easier, but it was also like, bro, like how I can beat the original in like 2.5 hours or whatever.
Yeah.
So honestly, it was like I was like sleepwalking through the original game at that point. I played it so much.
Yeah, to be honest, that wasn't like the reason that I didn't like it so much. But my biggest thing was the music. I really didn't like that they did like the MGS2 color palette for that game.
Yeah, the color palette,
an amazing color palette.
Yeah, color palette was a fucking downgrade. Like I mean, like you get it, and it definitely looks. It just looks like they just took two. It really is like, here's Metal Gear 2 as Metal Gear 1, but without the grit. Like it's so clean. It's got that sort of like super clean, I don't know, techno futuristic look that like 2 had on Big Shell, but blue instead of orange.
Yeah. It's like mostly that stuff that really pushes over it. Like, and like the stupid like the Matrix stuff that's in there. It's like, yeah, I kind of liked that.
Oh, I mean, it. It's so stupid.
It is really stupid, but I kind of liked the original. Like for. I think it's part of what I like, and this is definitely a pretty boomer thing to say, but I liked sort of how MGS1 was slightly more grounded Kojima in that way. Like he didn't go completely off the deep end, you know, like, because MGS2 is all about that shit too, right?
Yeah.
Like dudes are dodging bullets and shit. Like everyone's on the Matrix trend, and like when they added that like into like, I was fine with an MGS2, but when they added it back to MGS1, I was like, like it's funny, but it has me laughing at scenes that I wasn't laughing at. You know, it's just like it's now I'm laughing and I'm like, it makes the scene like that was kind of cool. Now it's just really stupid. But you know, it's like I don't know. It's clear that like if Kojima had the capabilities to do that on MGS1 for the PS1, he absolutely would have done it. Like,
yeah, like any Kojima, anytime Kojima passed like MGS2, like if he never done the story of 1 and then like the story of part 1 was like Metal Gear Solid 4 or 5, he absolutely would have made that game.
Absolutely.
That's
So
where
it was
his
just showing
brain went.
Exactly. Yeah. Like MGS3 is sort of grounded in that way, at least. I don't know if he does anything too Matrix-like, but
I don't know.
MGS
There's
is
there's still
fucking
weird.
crazy.
There's a lot of weird shit in 3 though too. But it's like
Yeah.
I don't know. Three, they're all weird, and it's just kind of like the problem was we thought like, oh, it's like so gritty and cool, and then it's like you realize like, no, dude, Metal Gear's always been kind of sci-fi. Like,
It's always been kind of sci-fi stupid.
I'm like, yeah, it's always like that. And then, like once he had the ability and the choreography to do that, he just went with it. He ran with it. Like a lady's scar is going to like wiggle off her body, go across the ground, and go onto you. Like he's gonna do weird shit. He's just gonna do it.
Oh man, dude, I will say, I don't know what it is about like Death Stranding between that and Metal Gear. Like the most like up his own ass Metal Gear ever got was Metal Gear 4. And it's one of the reasons why I never loved Metal Gear 4, even though it has all of the really has really cool moments like Return to Shadow Moses and stuff, but it also has like shit like Kojima's just so far up his own ass that like cutscenes just go on for fucking ever, and you're just like, god damn, do I play the game at all at any point in this, you know, in this experience? Like the ending goes on for like an hour to 2 hours. It's like it's like fuck me, man. Like I've never been so like exacerbated by like a video game than like fucking MGS4.
Yeah, someone was saying that like, oh yeah, it has the record. It's like 41 minutes. I'm like, bro, I feel there's games, even that game has way longer than 41 minutes. Like, do they mean like a cutscene where you literally don't even have to press A, you know, at anything? Because I'm like, I feel like that sounds too short. Like even with Metal Gear Solid 4 winning with the longest cutscene ever, at like 41 minutes or whatever, I'm like,
Is it really 41? It felt so much longer than that.
I feel it's longer because it's I mean, it's like, okay, press X to go to next cutscene. I'm like, that's not gameplay. Like,
yeah.
Like
the ending, I swear to God, the ending goes on for at least an hour.
I'm pretty sure the ending. I'm pretty sure the ending of Xenoblade 2, from the moment Malice goes down, I think it's like. I feel like it's at least almost an hour or a half. I don't know.
No, it's not that long. It's like
with the credits.
Minutes. No, well, with the credits, no. It's probably, it would be longer than that, but like.
It's probably somewhere in the above 30, close to an hour, probably.
Yeah, but it's interesting and like.
Right, but I'm like, you press a button like at some point between them, so it's almost like, I don't know, like. Yeah,
dude, I can't tell you how, like, I got to the end of MGS4 and I'm like, I personally think it should have ended right before Snake is about to shoot himself, and it just ends ambiguously and we don't even know what happens. And, you know, I'm like, that'd be cool, but no, Kojima can't do that. Instead it shows like, no, he missed, and then fucking Big Boss walks out and he fucking exposits all of the remaining mysteries of the game.
You should be careful saying that. That literally got hate. Well, I shouldn't say that out loud. Like Kojima doesn't like criticism of that cutscene.
Fucking whatever.
Like at all. Like to the point where he will get rid of your ass for criticizing that cutscene.
He will kill you?
No.
He will murder you?
No, but he'll make sure you don't work in this town no more.
Damn. I don't know, man. To me, I like that fucking cutscene. Like, I think it should have. It just kept going, and then when he exposits, and then he like dies in his arms, and I'm like, what are we fucking doing, bro? Like this game. I remember just feeling it playing MGS4. I thought the game was gonna end like 4 times. Like,
there's Return of the King.
Like, It's like you're like, all right, so it ended. Just kidding, and it keeps going. Like, what the fuck? Like, really? He's that protective of that scene in particular?
I'll tell you about it some. I'll tell you when you're older.
Okay, interesting. Anyway, I guess it shouldn't surprise me then, but like that Death Stranding is like sort of that exact same thing. Because like I like the themes of Death Stranding. I think the idea of connecting people across the world, and like I think that the major themes of the game are very good and they're always very like prophetic, because that's how Kojima is with a lot of his stuff. And you know, I think he's an insane visionary for that, how he's able to always seem to do that with his games and their major themes. But damn, oh man, the fucking dialogue in those games, I can't, man. Like the characters they just don't sound like real people at all. Like, these aren't real people talking. This is the same character talking to itself again and again. Yassi Croshaw described it best. He says characters don't talk with each other, they talk at each other. And they like exposit, like he did like an example where he's like, here's a writer conversation between me and my wife, and she's like, hey, do you want me to get you anything at the gas station? Yeah, could you get me a Twix or something? And he's like, and that's it, that's the conversation. And then he's like, that's a regular conversation. Here's a Kojima version of that, where he's like, it's like, would you like any at the gas station? Yeah, could you get me a Twix? Like, yes, Twixes. Did you know that if you eat a Twix, it gives you energy? But it fills up with there's this guy. It's got this many calories and it does this thing. It gives you this gameplay mechanic and this. Every character in the game talks like that. Every single one.
I don't know. I feel Trails sometimes falls into this a bit.
It does, yeah. But it's
mostly because there'll be like moments where like they want to make sure every character standing around says something. I'm like, that's not important.
Yeah. It's more like every character in the game has to be like expositing something, but that just makes it so that every character is basically the same person, like, again. And that's the problem where when I talk about Death Stranding and their plot, like I can't like what is like Norman Reedus's like personality in the game? What is the personality of Fragile? What's the personality for Doll Man? What's the personality for the like? I don't know, man. They're the same dude. It's just the same dude.
It's the same
like
picture.
everyone has the exact same cadence, everyone the same voice. Everything is said the exact same way all throughout the game, and it's like this weird robotic expository like way of talking. And then occasionally people will just randomly break out into song. Like it happens a lot in Death Stranding too. People just like bust out in song and like into like a dance.
Really?
Like it'll be like a really, there'll be like a big important scene. Yeah, it is. It's like, and like I'm like there's one point where Dead Man from the first game, who you thought was dead, comes back from the dead, and he's back and he shows up and then he starts singing like the major theme. He's like, "This is the song that," and he starts dancing and like.
So this
fucking,
is why
like,
I got an OST nom.
Yeah, and then like these fucking dolls come down, they fucking dance with him and stuff, and we're like in the middle of like a major fight against Matthew Mercer, and this is happening, and I'm like, I'm like, are they just like hanging back watching this happen? And it goes on for like 3 minutes. And then they're like, all right, that was cool. Anyway, and then it's like,
You think he was like inspired by like Alan Wake 2 or something?
I wouldn't be surprised. Like, it's so weird. Like, I don't even mind necessarily like weird moments like that. It's just, I wish characters had moments where they didn't talk
Hey,
like
you
that.
know
where
what
they
game
actually
did that really well? Pirate Yakuza.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They actually have good musical moments in there.
Amazing. Some of the best I've ever seen. Well, I mean, it's not really spoiler. Like they open the game with like not like the very not like the literal first thing, but like the introduction ends and then it ends in a musical sequence.
That sounds like it makes sense. I could definitely see, because that's like Majima in general. All of his stuff is usually very like his world is crazy.
Yeah.
Right? And like over the top and insane. So
it's very much like a nod to like Muppet Treasure Island though. Like it's played like that.
Yeah.
Like really hard, and I'm like
That sounds fun.
It's so
Like,
good.
I'm totally cool with that. Like, given the vibe and stuff, like, yeah, I could totally see enjoying something like that. It's the problem is that like the game takes itself very seriously, you know,
For
and like
Death Stranding 2.
yeah, like and Death Stranding 1, they're both like the same. Like I ended up feeling exactly the same way about Death Stranding 2's plot and story as I did with Death Stranding 1, where I'm like, where I go, oh my god, where most of the time the story and the dialogue, I'm like, part of me just wants to skip it because I'm like, it's just like kind of painful to go through. And then it gets to the end and the payoff is really good and it has a really good ending. And you're like, and I go, man, that was a really good ending. And then I think back and I go, was it worth it though? like everything leading up to it. Like, again, it's like the same thing that Kojima is so good at themes and like theming. And I absolutely think that he should be like directing like cutscenes, and he should absolutely be like picking out like what is the overarching theme of the story, because he's so good at it. But he needs somebody to write the dialogue for him.
He needs an editor, which
he needs an editor
apparently
so badly.
Which apparently he fired the editor from Metal Gear Solid 1. He was super pissed at him.
Really? Why?
Oh, you've never heard the Jeremy Blausen interview? Oh,
No.
I'll have a oh man, there's your homework for the day. Because he found out about some of the things that were happening in the localization of Metal Gear Solid 1, and he made sure that guy got fucking fired.
Wow, what was wrong with it? What did he like? I thought the localization for that game was great.
Well, he was trying to make it make sense, sound cool, whatever, and Kojima was fucking furious that he wasn't direct translating his script for Metal Gear Solid 1. So he considered the liberties taken in Metal Gear Solid 1 like, you know, sacrilegious.
Man,
I'm surprised you never heard about that.
No, I
interview.
didn't know that. I didn't.
Oof,
That's
man.
actually really interesting because, like, yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense because I think out of all the games, I still feel like MGS1 had the best localization where characters really feel like they have a bit more personality. Like there's a bit more, like people talk to each other and it feels a little bit more real than. And I think as the series went on, that sort of started to go away a bit, and that's probably because Kojima, like Lucas, was getting more and more control, right? And like was able to make the games exactly the way he wanted to, right? No, I didn't hear about that. Did you like humiliate the guy, or
No, he was just furious and made sure he got fired from Konami.
Yeah.
So he was very, very unhappy with hearing that there were like some liberties taken with localization. And the thing that got him fired, I believe he says it, the line that like really fucking pissed him off was something about, do you think love can bloom on the battlefield? Like, I think he wanted to like change it to something more like, do you think, you know, people can fall in love even in the middle of a battlefield or even in a war or something? He's like, no, it must be love can bloom on the battlefield. And he was like,
yeah, I'm like, I don't remember the. Yeah, no.
Like he was saying like that he wanted to change. He got fired by the time you know, because he got fired and then he like tried to like it was already too far in. So some stuff he was able to get changed or whatever. But like, yeah, he had like Japanese Japanese editors go in with a fine-tooth comb, as he said, to like make sure every game forward from there was like to the T what he's saying, or you know, to the T. So it was like,
damn. Yeah, like it's. I feel like for some reason I find it though. Death Stranding 1 and 2 is where it really becomes like Kojima always has had a way with his older, like with Metal Gear, a way of characters talking to each other where it's like yeah, it's always a little uncanny in times, but you know, it's like entertaining. But something about Death Stranding 1 and 2 is where it really pushes me over the edge, where I can't unsee it, I can't unhear it. It just like permeates every part of it, and I think it's just because it's like Kojima is truly like, he's so far up his own butt, he has come back his mouth out of his mouth now. Like those games that like represent that, like of like what unbridled control can do now. You know.
Well, Lighting, since I know you're a bootlicker for a lot of people here, like it's just it's the idea that like that is way too poetic for fucking Hal. Like Hal should not be waxing poetic like that, like randomly like that. Like, oh, you're a lyrist now, you're a poet. Like, no, you're a fucking dork. You're an otaku. Like, I can understand being like Snake, do Like, you know, do you think you can fall in love even, like, yeah, I could definitely see, like, him saying it like a fucking human. Like, would you in a given situation go up to him like, do you think love can bloom on the battlefield? You're in the middle of this fucking, like, you know, terrorist takeover of a military base, you know, whatever, and you're like an engineer for a, you know, nuclear bipedal walking death tank, and you're like, yeah, you're gonna fucking spout that off because you got a boner for Sniper Wolf or something? Like, like, no. Like,
Yeah.
The reason people like Metal Gear Solid 1 is because the characters sound. That was the big thing. That was the big fucking thing at the time, was how natural the dialogue sounded, because most localizations, like Symphony of the Night, were literally like, okay, here, what's the line? Die, monster, you don't belong in this world. Like,
Yeah.
straight up, like, people would get raw translations, they would say the line, they would have little to no direction, and they would just kind of say, good local. Yakuza is such a good example of excellent localization, because there's, for an example, there's no F word equivalent in Japanese. There is no equivalent to the word fuck in Japanese. They drop the F bomb all the fucking time in the English translations of Yakuza, all the time. But they're not saying that in Japanese. They're saying something else, but they're also going to be like, well, he's not going to say damn you, yes, that damn thing, I'm damn him, yeah, damn. They're like, you know, fuck you, buddy, like, eat my dick. They're going to do things that are going to make more sense to the English language, rather than doing the whole welcome to Snowtown, the land surrounded by snow, we are covered in snow 10 times out of the year, well, please enjoy Snow Park and Snow Statue and Snow this. Like, this is the direct translation. Like, that was a joke in Rhapsody. I have that on PlayStation. I wonder if that's worth some money. But yeah, like, that was a big joke in Rhapsody. You get to this snow town, and this guy's like, welcome to Snow Mountain, the home of Snow Village. We have mountains of snow, and please enjoy Snow Park. Note, this is what happens when you do a direct translation. Like, they added that line of dialogue in.
Really?
Yep, that's what the NPC says. Like, he's like, no, this is what happens when you do a direct translation.
Wow. Wait, is that the
Musical.
PS3 Xbox 360 game?
No, PS1. Rhapsody musical adventure.
Oh, I know there's another game called Rhapsody where you're like in the mind of like Beethoven or something in his dreams.
Oh, that's Eternal Sonata.
Oh, fuck, that's right. I thought that had Rhapsody.
It's only worth $100, but mine's signed.
Ooh.
By the translator. I found him at
I
found him at E3, and I'm like, can you sign my game if I come back tomorrow with it? He's like, sure.
Oh yeah, that'd definitely be worth a pretty penny then. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, that's like I mean, don't get me wrong, I still love Kojima's games. I do actually genuinely think he is a visionary game director and like developer, because he always pushes the what can we do in our games, like doing crazy stuff, and how he tells the stories, how his cinematography, and how and the gameplay elements that he incorporates in there. Like, I thought generally Death Stranding 2 and 1 were like the gameplay loop for that. It's very much a cozy game kind of style.
Yeah, I think he's an incredible innovator and I will always give Kojima credit for never just doing a by the numbers sequel. I will always give him credit for always being. He doesn't do iterative sequels. He just doesn't. Everything's got to have like wild swings. I give him huge props for that. But I will say he needs a fucking editor.
Me too, dude. I feel like his stuff would be so much better if he just let one of these dudes just go out there and edit his stuff just a bit, all right? Just make it sound a little more natural. Like, it would make the stories so much better. And the funny thing about Death Stranding 2's story is it's exactly he does it exactly the way he does like a lot of his Metal Gear games, where there's like elements of it that are the same from the last game, right? Like in the last game you had what was that actor's name? The guy that I think his name's Bill in the game or something. He's like, he was the one that's like, I'm looking for my baby, and he has like the scar on his face. He played that one guy from Casino Royale, the bad guy.
Oh, Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah, Mads Mikkelsen. All right, like, so he's like your like this soldier guy who is hunting you down for some reason, and you don't know why, and like Death Stranding 1, and then you get someone who plays the exact same role in the exact same way with the guy that is essentially not Snake, that Kojima was apparently gonna make like the actual actor for him in a movie or something. I don't know, but that's in Death Stranding 2. But he's playing the exact same role and is basically incorporated in the exact same way, where it's like he's tied to this thing, you don't know what it is, and you gotta like figure it out. But first you have to do like 3 or 4 boss fights with him before you figure it out. And its boss fights are very similar to how Mads Mikkelsen's boss fights were, and like the story and elements of the story are very like iterative and similar, just like how MGS1 and MGS2 were very similar. And I mean, granted, there's an in-story reason for that, but like all of his games have elements and things that sort of like it's almost like intentional callbacks or something. But
hey, Bob Gray, I'm just going to chime in on there. If you really like Snatch's localization, look up who did it.
Oh yeah, I'm actually curious about that, because I was watching there's another streamer who is playing through Police Knots right now, and I know Kojima like wrote that story, and I'm looking at the characters talking, I'm like, these characters are not talking like Kojima characters. Like they're talking way more naturally. Who localized it?
Vans. It was never localized in English.
Oh, that's right. I forgot it was Japanese only. I forgot about that.
But but just to cut to spoil or whatever, cut to it. You like Snatcher's localization? Guess who did it? Jeremy Blaustein, who did Metal Gear Solid afterwards.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like the man in charge of Metal Gear Solid 1's localization did Snatcher on the Sega CD in America. Hence why he was always trying to. I'm not trying. I just feel like he was just good at he was good at basically getting the idea of what Kojima wanted across. Because I think Kojima himself is a lot like Hal, where he waxes poetic. Sometimes you don't need to wax poetic, or if you're doing it like this you kind of come off just like a lunatic, if you directly translate that rather than the auteur or the artist. Like, you want to be seen as like, oh wow, this beautiful artistic vision or view of the world, and like you sound like a homeless man screaming on a street in English if we do this directly.
I think a lot of it, I almost feel like Kojima himself is trying to fashion himself like a modern day Shakespeare, right? 'Cause Shakespeare, all of his characters talk in this, they wax poetic, and that's just how Shakespeare characters are. But it's like, I don't know, man. Like in the modern landscape, it's really hard to tell a story like that in a way and not have it feel very ham-fisted and hokey. And it's like that can still exist. Like I still think Kojima's got a great sense of humor. There's a lot of like funny stuff in like Death Stranding 1 and 2, and they can keep that. There's a point in Death Stranding 2 where you go to this little hut and you run into this pizza guy in the back, and I don't know if you've seen this scene where he's like making pizzas, and then like Norman Reedus and him get into like this insanely choreographed like fucking fight scene where he's using like the pizza to like fight back with them, and he's like, but they're like while they're doing it, he's also like cooking pizzas at the same time, and at like one point he tries to hit him with a pizza, but he's got a pizza on it, and he holds it, and then he like slides the pizza out, and then Norman Reedus just holding a pizza, and then he puts it like in the box while they're like fighting. It's like, it's so stupid and ridiculous, but it's like insanely entertaining. And then by the end, he's just got like a thing of pizza, and then he just like cuts it for Norman Reedus. He takes a bite, and then Norman Reedus takes a bite of it, and he's like, "This is great." He's like, "Right?"
I mean, don't get me wrong, he definitely has his moments, but like, yeah, he definitely I feel like he just needs a bit of an editor sometimes.
Yeah.
I know Al was losing his goddamn mind with Death Stranding 1. But I'm your Princess Beach, or whatever.
Yeah, this shit. I think the reason why, that's funny, but the problem is it's like, it's happening during like a pivotal important scene, and it's so like, fuck, was that really the time to do that joke? Like,
again, a proper localization might have found a different way around that.
Yeah, that's the thing. Maybe
not. Maybe that scene might just be chalked.
Yeah, I said that. I think almost feel like I think even Jeremy probably would have been like, I'm gonna have to cut that line.
Princess Beach.
Princess Peach. Yeah. Still like it. I'm so glad he's exists. I'm so glad he's still making stuff. I'll be curious how that OD game ends up coming out. You know?
I think that game is going to be very well received.
You think so?
I think so. I think it's going to be the actual PT game we didn't get.
Yeah. I think you might be right, actually. Yeah, because like, have we actually gotten Kojima like outside of PT, like through Kojima 4? You know?
No, he was such a good fit for Silent Hill, I thought, but
yeah, I know. It was great. I was like, that's like the thing is, for here's the funny thing. That dialogue that he does, like that is sort of like the sort of it's perfect. It is so perfect. That's like the point. Is the characters talk in weird fucking ways, and that shit like. Everyone will just be looking at Kojima like, this is perfect, bro. Yeah, perfect. He's going for it. He's going to be like, yeah, man, I'm the best. I'm waxing so poetic. This shit is off the hizzle or something. I'm the best writer ever. But not knowing that the reason everyone loves it so much is because how weird and awkward it sounds. And it's actually just perfect in a horror setting like this. And everyone's just giving a thumbs up and nodding like, yeah, dude. Yeah. You keep doing you, bro.
Yeah, I remember thinking that when it was revealed that it was Silent Hills, I'm like, this is the perfect place to put him and all his fucking weird ideas.
Yeah.
Like he should actually be perfect for Silent Hill, and then they canceled it. Fuck.
Well, I think you're right though. I think, 'cause, I mean, I can't at this point, Kojima has so much like prestige that no one, like, if he says he doesn't want an editor, he's never gonna get one. So I'm sure that
no one's telling him no.
Yeah, exactly. So he'll do whatever the hell he wants. And I think if in a horror setting, the way the characters talk like that, I think they'll be fine. I think they'll actually probably make it even better. So it will be just like a similar Silent Hill thing. And he definitely knows horror. Like, holy shit. It's like, he definitely, I think, can pull that off pretty well.
Yeah.
I'm also gonna be really interested in that in the next, like, not Metal Gear game that he's working on too, the tactical one.
Oh yeah, which apparently he clarified nothing's been done on that game.
Yeah.
Like, no work has been done, no pre-production, nothing. Like, gotta finish Death Stranding 2 and OD. It's like, okay, yeah. So this game was just Sony was announcing, hey, we're gonna get him for a spy game later on. Don't you worry, it'll be out on PS6 halfway through that system's life.
That was announced on Jeff's show, right?
Yeah, I think it was Jeff's show. Why wouldn't it be?
I swear to you, I bet they
or
were
was it
like.
a state of play?
I think it was Jeff's. Actually, no, maybe it was a state of play.
Because he was at. I don't know. Remember, he was at Sony Studios and they did the big pan out from the Sony studio lot. Like,
yeah,
might have been a state of play, or it was one or the other.
Right. Yeah. It's like I felt like I have like memories of both. I was almost thinking like if it was Jeff's show, I was like I can almost imagine them being like out to lunch one day and Kojima just like mentioning like, yeah, I'm thinking about like doing another tactical game, and he's Jeff's like, dude, let me announce it. Come on, give it to me. I got my show tomorrow. Let me do it. It's like, I mean, it's not even done, and I'm like, I barely even know what I'm doing. It's like, I don't give a shit. Fuck it, let's go.
Just let me have it, man. Just let me have it. Right. I don't know. It
still boggles my mind that Jeff finished the Game Awards with that High Guard game.
Oh, dude, I agree with everyone that something got pulled last minute, and this was just like, this is all I got left.
Oh, you think so?
I mean, that's the conspiracy theory. Like, the heavy conspiracy was that it was Half-Life 3 and Valve pulled out last second. But I don't know if I believe that, the Half-Life 3 part, but I would be like, you know what? It just feels like there was supposed to be something else, and then something big, and then they pulled last minute, and it was like, what do I do? I guess High Guard.
I mean, the thing is, though, he could have ended with so many other things. He could have ended with the Mega Man thing. Like, there were other ones that absolutely could have been the last thing.
Should have ended it with KOTOR.
Yeah, exactly.
KOTOR,
or Mega Man.
KOTOR should have just been like the double whammy with Mega Man and KOTOR at the end. It's like,
yeah, like it's like I would have understood it if there was like, yeah, there's nothing else in the show that was like that hype worthy that could have ended
Yeah,
it. But
my guess would be like maybe it was like, well, we can't move anything else. Like everything is like set in stone. The only one that's like we had to make a decision on what to move around when or whatever. I don't know. Like maybe it was like a timing thing.
Maybe. I don't know. The thing is too, like
It's
he was
not
really trying to. He was really trying to sell it though too.
That's
'Cause
not
he was like,
unprecedented though. Do you remember he closed a show on Paragon? Does anyone remember Paragon? Nope, that's okay.
don't actually.
Yeah, that was like Epic Games hero shooter.
Was that a similar thing then?
Yeah,
Was that?
yeah, it was like they ended a whole game, like Game Awards, on Paragon. That game forgotten immediately after the trailer ended.
But did it revealed that it was because some guy moved at the last
No,
minute?
no,
or was it?
no. It's just that's how he ended a show one year.
Oh, okay. So yeah, like to me, just the way he talked about it, it really did make me feel like he actually believed that this was something big and special. But it just felt because Jeff is he really, I say out of a lot of the big industry folks, he's generally pretty like got his ear to the ground. He generally sort of like gets trends and just like understands that like, yeah, you know, generally like the big hero shooters things are kind of going out, kind of leaving at this point. So it just kind of surprised me a little bit.
I mean, yeah, and I remember when he closed the show on Fast and the Furious. I remember that. Cause
I don't remember that either.
You don't remember that because it was like double because fucking Vin Diesel and Michelle Rodriguez went up to give the Game of the Year award out.
Oh, the Tekken? Was that?
Yeah, Tekken.
Yeah, that was
Tekken.
It was like Tekken. Wait, that was the last thing of that show?
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah. Bro, I don't remember this at all. Fuck. You got the memory of an elephant, so I don't remember this shit at all.
Well, someone said it, and I was like, I remember, I'm like, didn't he close on Fast and Furious? Was Fast and Furious the last one? I think it was, but I wasn't 100%, but yeah. I do remember the Tekken.
Yeah, that's all I remember from that is her saying Tekken.
Yeah, but I do remember him closing on Fast and the fucking Furious. And God, he didn't close the show, but there was like that one moment, and it's gotten memed online now, where he's like, because he did it twice, and he was like, the highly anticipated, the incredible Korean game Dokkev, and I'm like, bro, what?
Wait, which game? Wait, what?
You don't remember Dokkev? So it was like the game where you plays like these kids, and they were doing the song "I Want to Be a Rock Star" or something, and the trailer went on for like a good 5 minutes or something. You don't remember Dokkev?
Wait, let me look at it. Oh, this game. Oh, did this ever get released?
I don't even know.
Yeah, this was like.
I just remember he hyped that up like the incredible new game from blah 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 Dokkev. And, bro,
yeah, I remember this. I remember watching this trailer and just going, "What is this game? And why does it have like 800 different things going on?" Like, the gameplay felt like. It actually, you know what actually reminded me of? It's like, it was almost like a game. It would be like if Crimson Desert had like a kid aesthetic, where you're just like, there's like 30 different like main gameplay things going on here that are all like being shown at once, and your brain is like, I don't even like. There's like a point where your brain just starts to like overload, and you're like, I don't even know what this game is anymore. Like, what is this? Like,
yep.
Like, this is just life now. I can do everything.
About to announce some Final Fantasy thing, but it was a DoorDash thing. I kind of remember that, yeah. I don't know. Look, man, he charges a lot of money for his spots, and if someone with way too much time and money on their hands just is like, hey, we'll pay. Here's a shitload of cash. Hype our shit up, okay?
Yeah, you're right. That's probably what it really is. It's just like this guy's probably had a shit ton of money and just said, hey, put us at the end of the show and hype us the fuck up. Yeah, you're probably right. That's probably what it really is.
All right, here we go.
Yeah. I've been curious if he really believed that hard in that project, or if he I actually would be curious, like, I mean, that game is supposed to, I think, release this month, right? Like I think I remember him mentioning that, where it's like, oh yeah, like it comes out in January or something.
Oh,
the High Guard
yeah,
game.
yeah.
I'll be like, legit curious, like how long it lasts. If it really ends up actually being something.
Oh,
truly
that thing's
special,
gonna
if
last
it's
like 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's what I feel like too.
Yeah, like nobody cares. Like,
Unless I'm wrong.
like yeah. Hey, do you remember the guy with the remember the Splitgate guy? Yeah, Splitgate. Remember Splitgate man at Summer Games Fest? Make shooters great again.
Oh yeah, I remember that dude.
Remember that guy went on stage and shit talked Halo and Call of Duty and wore his stupid gamer bro MAGA hat, and then his game flopped. So they pulled it, and then they just relaunched it, and then guess what? It flopped again.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Dude can't catch a break. Dude,
Damn.
just shut your damn mouth. I just found out today, the Ori director, also doing No Rest for the Wicked, got in a huge fight with the ex-Blizzard CEO on New Year's Eve, and I'm just like,
Wow.
I mean, I knew Thomas Mahler's been a known asshole for years, but it's just kind of like. Just like every so often, like someone lets the dude out of his den. He goes on social media, makes a huge ass of himself, and then crawls back into the void.
Bro, you want something funny? I was looking up that Dokev game, which is not out yet, by the way, and that was years ago when they showed that. But guess what? Yeah, guess what? I was like, this reminds me of the Crimson Desert, or just where it's just like feels like it's like 30 different things. It's the same developer. It's Pearl Abyss.
Oh shit!
The same fucking dev. I was like, oh shit!
Oh shit!
That was.
No, a Twitter fight, a Twitter bitch fight.
I was like,
he was basically saying that he was saying Diablo sucks now, and that Mike Ybarra was responsible for turning Diablo 4 into a slot machine, and his game was for real gamers. You suck my dick. Well, not suck my dick, but just a general gist that my game will rip people off like your games ended up doing, and he's just and they're just sitting there and fighting like cats
with their dicks out.
Yeah.
Fucking big old dick contest. Yeah, actually looking at it, it says that so apparently they actually said that the Dokev game is actually like basically on hiatus while they continue to work on Crimson Desert. So
there you go.
So it's like made by the exact same dude. So it's just I guess they want to get that game out, which I mean, you and I both played that at Summer Games Fest, and
apparently
my hands hurt after that.
Apparently they are actually taking feedback into account because they were super. Because I had a last day appointment for that game, and my god, like the lady was so fucking tired of hearing about the controls being weird for that game. I
fucking go. Yeah, I try. I was like trying to be as nice about it as possible, like telling the guy, but I'm like, he just sort of like looked at me, nodding, but he was like, I could just look in his eyes and see he's like, I know. He was like, I know. You're like the 20th person to tell me this. Like just say it. But yeah, fuck me, man. That game was. I don't think I've ever seen a control scheme like that game had.
I honestly, it was almost like, dude, just say it doesn't support controller. just
control with your mind.
Just be like, you know what? No, it doesn't work with controller.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of killed any enthusiasm because I thought the game had potential just because I was sort of blown away with how much shit you could do in it. But man, it's funny how I'll give credit to Tears of the Kingdom because there's so much of Tears of the Kingdom in that game too, where how you move and control things and everything, move objects around. I'll tell you right now, at the very least, Tears of the Kingdom was pretty intuitive with how you moved objects around.
Yeah.
And this game had you pressing a separate button prompt to pull it up, and then another separate button prompt to move it around, and then another separate button prompt to set it back into the thing, and then another button prompt to confirm the action.
The psychic powers were so fucking goofy in that game.
They were so weird. It's like, oh my god, does it need to be this complicated?
Oh man. Yeah, but apparently they're taking a second pass at it, so good for them. All right.
Yeah.
You know what? I said it was gonna be an early stream. I'm gonna actually call it. I have to. Well, not long.
Okay.
Take a quick nap and then I'm gone for a week, guys. So sorry.
Oh shit! Going out of town?
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm gonna be gone for a week. There'll be videos that'll go up on the YouTube, and then yeah, I will see y'all in a week.
Cool, man.
when I
Have
get
fun.
back. So.
All right, I'll let you say goodbye to chat then. All right, see you, dude. Have a good
Later,
trip.
Nico. Thank you. But yes, Chad, that is it. That was Xenoblade Future Redeemed at 60 frames, which, man, it looks pretty. Why can't Pokemon look this good? I need to get that one more in. And I will see y'all when I'm back. So yeah, I'll be gone for a week, and that's all. So yeah, thanks for joining me for Monolithsoft Monday. And yeah, I shall return. I don't think I'll be back for Monolithsoft Monday. Next week. It'll be Tuesday next week. So see you then. Have a good one, chat.
Yo! Video games.